Welcome to our professional training series in divination, tarot, and astrology. The following training in astrology was developed for students that are going through the courses with the School of Our Divine Infinite Being. The order and sequence of training are created with specific elements of repetition throughout for the purpose of reinforcing memory and clarity. We wanted to make our training available to the general public here on YouTube, while also encouraging those interested in a career as a divination professional in astrology and tarot to check out our programs at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. We have post-graduation program assistance that you will not find anywhere else. This includes live video consultation technology, calendar booking, social share tools, affiliate program development, e-commerce, and the opportunity to take clients from the marketing efforts of our talented in-house staff. Again, you will find all of this at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. Sponsored by astrologypro.com, the #1 platform for astrologers and tarot readers to operate their divination services. We hope you enjoy this training. Introduction. Pluto, the celestial body associated with metamorphosis, authority, and psychological depth, assumes a momentous role in Western astrology. Its influence is profound, transformative, and often subtle, governing areas such as power, regeneration, intimacy, and profound personal evolution. Pluto's slow celestial rotation, taking 248 years to complete a full cycle, means that individuals of the same generation share its placement in a particular zodiac sign, producing generational archetypes that shape collective values, societal perspectives, and long-term cultural shifts. Its presence highlights the forces of hidden power, subconscious drives, and the necessity for personal and collective transformation throughout life. At an individual level, Pluto's influence manifests through intensity, regenerative processes, and the capacity for deep psychological insight. It challenges the ego, confronts hidden fears, and catalyzes personal rebirth, often through experiences that strip away superficial layers and reveal core truths. This transformative energy affects domains ranging from relationships and sexuality to authority, control, and spiritual evolution. By engaging consciously with Pluto's lessons, one can harness its potential for empowerment, emotional depth, and the integration of power with wisdom, ultimately facilitating profound personal growth and evolutionary progress. Insights into transformation, power, and control of the Pluto. Pluto, the distant and enigmatic celestial body, holds profound significance in astrology, representing the forces of transformation, power, and control. In terms of transformation, Pluto governs deep, often unseen shifts, facilitating the breaking down of old patterns and the regeneration of the self. It highlights cycles of death and rebirth, compelling individuals to confront hidden aspects of their psyche and evolve through intense personal experiences. This transformative energy is both personal and collective, influencing profound changes in life, relationships, and societal structures. Regarding power and control, Pluto embodies the dynamics of authority, influence, and dominance. It illuminates areas where we must face internal and external struggles for control, revealing subconscious fears and motivations. Through this energy, individuals learn to harness personal power responsibly, navigate psychological depths, and assert themselves without succumbing to coercion or manipulation. Pluto's astrological influence encourages mastery over one's inner world and the capacity to initiate meaningful change in both personal and broader collective realms. Pluto's role in astrology. Pluto, named after the Roman god of the underworld, is a celestial enigma that captivates astronomers and astrologers alike. Despite its controversial reclassification as a dwarf planet in 2006, Pluto continues to hold significant astrological influence. It is associated with themes of death, regeneration, and profound transformation, and its energy is seen as a force that compels individuals to confront their deepest fears, uncover hidden truths, and undergo profound personal evolution. Pluto's influence is intense, life-altering, and profound, often exposing secrets and breaking down old beliefs and systems before creating space for something new. Its transformative power is intensified by its long transits, allowing for deep and lasting changes in individuals' lives. When Pluto aligns with personal planets or sensitive points in our birth charts, its influence can be profound and life-altering. In an individual's natal chart, Pluto's placement reveals the areas of life where transformative power is at work. Pluto's symbolism. Pluto, a diminutive and remote celestial entity, is often regarded as the most profound and metamorphic among the celestial bodies. In the realm of astrology, it is linked to themes of demise, rejuvenation, and profound metamorphosis, symbolizing the cycles of existence, demise, and transformation. The influence of Pluto is formidable and has the potential to precipitate substantial transformations in individuals or societies. It epitomizes immense power both on an individual and collective level, and embodies the concept of power in its most primal state. Pluto also governs the notion of command, urging individuals to confront and reformulate their association with authority. Its energy has the ability to illuminate power struggles and matters connected to control, fostering personal development and evolution. Its sway is enduring and transformative, often laying bare secrets and dismantling antiquated beliefs and systems before paving the way for novelty. By apprehending the influence of Pluto, individuals can better grasp their own power dynamics, emotional prerequisites, and the factors that propel their transformative progression, enabling them to navigate life with greater effectiveness and authenticity. Pluto's generational influence. The generational impact of Pluto extends far and wide, encompassing a considerable span of time, delineating the dilemmas and obstacles faced by entire cohorts. The protracted and gradual effect of Pluto on the collective individuals born during its rule is deemed to be generational in nature. The ascendancy and decline of power structures, revolutions, and profound societal transformations all bear witness to the influence of Pluto. The positioning of Pluto in each generation unveils the facets of life where transformative power is actively at play. The sway of Pluto is frequently linked to technology, warfare, and emotional scars pertaining to the concept of home. By confronting the wounds and obscurities ingrained in one's personal Pluto placement, individuals can transcend self-imposed limitations, shatter detrimental generational patterns, and attain their utmost potential. To grasp the personal impact of Pluto, one can delve into the specific house it occupies within their astrological birth chart. Pluto's astrological influence. Pluto's astrological influence is profound, representing themes of transformation, power, and control. Its impact is intense, life-altering, and often associated with destruction and rebirth. This celestial body governs the process of death and regeneration, symbolizing the cycles of life, death, and transformation. Pluto's influence is not restricted to destruction, it also plays a role in the way we come back from such situations, allowing us to transform and evolve. It represents immense power, both personal and collective, and embodies the concept of power at its most primal level. Additionally, Pluto governs the notion of control, urging individuals to confront and reformulate their association with authority. Its energy can bring to light power struggles and issues related to control, fostering personal growth and evolution. By understanding Pluto's influence, individuals can better comprehend their own power dynamics, emotional needs, and the factors that drive their transformative progression, enabling them to navigate life with greater effectiveness and authenticity. Pluto's retrograde. Pluto's retrograde occurs when Pluto appears to move backward in its orbit from our perspective on Earth, a result of the relative motion of both planets. Astrologically, this period emphasizes internal and subconscious processes rather than external events. Lasting approximately 5 to 6 months and occurring roughly every 18 months, Pluto retrograde invites profound introspection, self-reflection, and personal transformation. During this time, individuals are encouraged to examine their relationship with power, control, and emotional needs, allowing hidden patterns and unconscious behaviors to surface for conscious awareness. In 2023, Pluto's retrograde began on May 1st and will conclude on October 11th in Capricorn. This transit particularly highlights themes of structure, responsibility, and long-term goals, making it an ideal period for evaluating one's personal and professional foundations. Emotional breakthroughs and shifts in understanding power dynamics are common, offering opportunities to release what no longer serves personal growth. By consciously engaging with Pluto retrograde, individuals can heal, transform, and realign their lives with authenticity, gaining deeper insight into their inner motivations and psychological patterns. Pluto's placement in the zodiac signs. Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, is a celestial body that symbolizes profound transformation, destruction, and renewal. Its influence is intense, life-altering, and often associated with themes of power, control, and the psychological depths of our subconscious. Unlike the personal planets in astrology, Pluto's slow orbit takes 248 years to complete a rotation, impacting entire generations. Its influence is not restricted to destruction. It also plays a role in the way we come back from such situations, allowing us to transform and evolve. Pluto's energy is extremely potent and powerful, representing the underbelly of emotions, what lies beneath the surface, and the subconscious mind. It governs the process of death and regeneration, symbolizing the cycles of life, death, and transformation. Pluto's influence is enduring and transformative, often laying bare secrets and dismantling antiquated beliefs and systems before paving the way for novelty. By understanding Pluto's influence, individuals can better comprehend their own power dynamics, emotional needs, and the factors that drive their transformative progression, enabling them to navigate life with greater effectiveness and authenticity. Pluto's significance in Western astrology. Pluto, a diminutive, remote, and enigmatic celestial entity, is frequently regarded as the most profound and catalytic among the celestial bodies. In the realm of astrology, it is linked to themes of demise, revival, and profound transformation, symbolizing the cycles of existence, expiration, and change. The influence of Pluto is mighty and possesses the potential to instigate notable transformations within individuals or societies. It epitomizes immense authority both on an individual and collective scale, and embodies the concept of authority in its most primal form. Pluto also governs the concept of governance, compelling individuals to confront and redefine their connection with authority. Its energy has the capability to illuminate power struggles and matters pertaining to control, fostering personal growth and evolution. Its influence is enduring and transformative, often revealing hidden truths and dismantling antiquated beliefs and systems before paving the way for novelty. By comprehending the influence of Pluto, individuals can better comprehend their own power dynamics, emotional prerequisites, and the factors that propel their transformative progression, allowing them to navigate life with greater effectiveness and authenticity. Pluto's role in astrology. Although it is now considered a dwarf planet, Pluto still has a great deal of astrological significance. It is a sign of profound transformation, power, and control that affects generational characteristics and personal transformation. The position of Pluto in the zodiac sign shapes generational trends, highlighting themes like personal power, material abundance, communication, family relationships, and belief systems. Pluto's influence is long-lasting and transformative. It often reveals hidden secrets and destroys old beliefs and systems, paving the way for new beginnings. It strengthens and powers any sector or planet that it touches, ruling over everything that is hidden, invisible, or buried. This includes secrets, undercover work, and the roots of all plants. Its energy and influence are chaotic and destructive, revealing secrets, destroying old beliefs and systems, and paving the way for something new. Pluto symbolizes subconscious forces, power and rebirth, transformation and evolution. It brings mass change in our lives, often lasting and transforming the whole generation. Pluto's astrological aspects and transits. Pluto's astrological signs and transits are very important in the world of astrology. When a transiting Pluto forms aspects with its natal planets, it can bring about deep and meaningful encounters. For example, when a square aspect of Pluto forms with its natal Mercury has the power to deepen and ignite passion. A square aspect between a Pluto and a natal Mercury can bring about a period of regeneration, decay, and growth. In addition, the transits of Pluto through each zodiac sign are closely linked to significant changes and changes in the areas of life that each particular sign governs. Because of its slow and steady motion, Pluto usually resides in each sign for many years, making a difference in wider social and collective matters. In addition, the retrograde periods of Pluto, which last for 5 months each year, can provide a respite from the relentless energy of Pluto and offer opportunities for personal growth and transformation. Pluto's energy in astrological terms. Pluto, as understood in Western astrological traditions, is commonly associated with a potent and profound energy that has the ability to bring about significant and life-altering transformations. This celestial body is particularly linked to fundamental themes such as power dynamics, the establishment of control, matters of a sexual nature, and the workings of the subconscious mind. Frequently referred to as the celestial body of metamorphosis and renewal, Pluto's influence is widely regarded as being remarkably influential and robust, representing the depths of our emotional selves that we are often hesitant to openly express to the external world. Furthermore, it is also closely associated with the realms of secrets, covert knowledge, and monumental transitions that are experienced over the course of a lifetime. Astrologers are keen to emphasize that the energy emanating from Pluto is intense and has the potential to bring about sudden or dramatic changes, thereby presenting opportunities for personal growth and rejuvenation. Although its impact is frequently described as destructive, it is ultimately transformative and empowering. Additionally, the slow orbit of Pluto and its influence on generational categorizations are also brought to the forefront, highlighting its enduring and collective significance. Pluto's placement in a birth chart. Pluto's positioning in a natal diagram indicates the location where an individual endeavors to uncover veracity and profound significance in existence. It governs aspects encompassing authority, dominance, and the psychological depths of a person. The placement of Pluto in a birth chart may initiate formidable metamorphosis, disruption, and restoration within the sphere of life it influences. It is linked to implications that transcend generations, as it persists in each zodiac sign for numerous years, exerting influence upon individuals born during that period. Comprehending one's Pluto sign has the capacity to yield insights regarding the more obscure facets of the psyche, as well as the potential for change and rejuvenation. Furthermore, Pluto's allocation within the houses of the natal chart delineates the areas where individuals explore truths and profound significance, and it may be associated with potential alterations, disruption, power struggles, and matters of control. Pluto's impact in each of the 12 houses. Pluto affects Western astrology's 12 houses. Each house is influenced differently. The first house changes self-image and perception. The second house redefines money and possessions. The third house changes communication. The fourth house transforms home, family, and security. The fifth house sees creativity, expression, and romance. The sixth house changes work, health, and routines. The seventh house transforms partnerships. The eighth house has intuition, business sense, and inheritance. The ninth house changes beliefs and learning. The 10th house transforms career and reputation. The 11th house changes friendships and social causes. The 12th house seeks truth and spiritual understanding. These indicate intense transformation in various areas of life influenced by Pluto. Pluto's position in the natal chart. The positioning of Pluto in the natal chart discloses an individual's perspective on authority, strategies in manipulating others, and encounters with radical transformations. It symbolizes the sphere of existence where one pursues truth and profound significance, as well as where they may confront intense alterations and concealed fixations. The influence of Pluto is shared among peers due to its generational impact. Its gradual transition instigates significant metamorphoses and rejuvenation. Gaining comprehension of one's Pluto sign can offer profound insights into the darker aspects of the psyche and the potential for rebirth. The text provides examples of famous people with notable Pluto positions in their birth charts. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and JFK show a focus on family and nationalism. Salvador Dali, Coco Chanel, and Walt Disney exhibit leadership and creativity. Nostradamus, Lord, and Jaden Smith are characterized by a desire to explore and religious interests. Barack Obama, Jennifer Lopez, and Jay-Z experienced transformative career and public image moments. Serena Williams, Katy Perry, and Mick Jagger have multiple instances of Pluto's placement. Margot Robbie, Paul Rudd, and Jessica Alba show intense creativity and romance. Chloe Grace Moretz and Kurt Cobain are concerned with humanitarian causes and social justice. The examples represent only a fraction of individuals with significant Pluto placements in their birth charts. Pluto's influence can be seen in various aspects of life, including career, creativity, relationships, and personal transformation. Pluto's role in societal transformations and historical events. Throughout history, Pluto's astrological alignment has coincided with major social shifts and historic events. Its transit and placement have coincided with revolutionary movements and world wars. It has also coincided with the civil rights movement, the end of colonialism, technological revolution, economic change, and environmental consciousness. For example, its transit and placement coincided with French and Russian Revolution, World War I and World War II, civil rights movement, decolonization movements, etc. Its transit and placement has also coincided with major technological advances, economic crises, and increased awareness of the environment. Understanding these patterns provides insight into the wider cycles of societal development and transformation, revealing the deep impact of Pluto's energy on world history and human civilizations. Handling Pluto's energy. Pluto's energy is intense and transformational, and it's difficult to manage. It's a sign of power struggle, obsession, and crisis, but it's also a sign of rebirth and personal growth. Accepting change and letting go of old habits and beliefs is key to dealing with Pluto's energy. Deep-rooted fears and obsessions need to be addressed and worked through. You can use this energy for personal growth and change by accepting the need to change and opening yourself up to new experiences. It's important to recognize power dynamics in your relationships and avoid manipulative behavior. If you're mindful and intentional, you can use this energy to make positive changes in personal growth. Pluto's shadow side. Pluto's shadow side is one of the most powerful and transformative aspects of Western astrology. It is associated with power struggles and obsessions, as well as crises that can lead to deep transformation and rebirth. The shadow side of Pluto can also be associated with deep-rooted fears, secrets, and manipulation. The shadow side of Pluto is often associated with a desire for power and a propensity to abuse power in unhealthy ways. When dealing with this aspect of your life, it's important to recognize and work through your fears, obsessions, and manipulations. It's also important to avoid manipulative behavior and to embrace change. If you don't, you may end up with destructive behavior and bad consequences. Ultimately, the shadow side of your life can be used to help you grow and change if you are aware and intentional about how to handle it. The darker aspects of Pluto's energy. Pluto's astrological energy is strong and transformative. However, it also has its dark side. Pluto's icy cold, cruel, destructive, and intimidating energy can lead to power struggles, obsessions, and control. This can lead to arguments and triangle relationships. It can also lead to fear, destruction, and death. It can also lead to waste. Its influence can be difficult to manage. It often forces people to confront their innermost fears and the dark corners of their soul. In some cases, it can lead to unhealthy stalker-like obsessions. This can result in destructive behavior and bad consequences. On the other hand, if handled with care and intention, it can be a positive force for change and personal development. Pluto's influence on a global scale. The astrological impact of Pluto on the global stage is immense. It is linked to major historical events and social movements, as well as shifts in the collective consciousness. The long transits of Pluto affect entire generations and leave a lasting impact on society, politics, and culture. The generational impact of Pluto is evident in periods of social turmoil, global conflict, and revolutionary movements, like the end of colonial rule, technological breakthroughs, and economic changes. The transformative power of Pluto is important for personal growth, but it can also lead to control, possession, and power struggle. It is important to recognize and work through these dark tendencies in order to harness the positive energy of Pluto and facilitate deep personal and societal growth. Pluto's transformative nature in astrology. Pluto is a sign of profound transformation, regeneration, and rebirth in astrology. It symbolizes the deeper meaning of life, the unconscious, power, intensity, and the cycle of destruction and renewal. It symbolizes life, death, and rebirth, and represents the transformative power of these processes. Pluto's influence in an individual's natal chart can transform their life, revealing the areas where transformative power is most likely to manifest. Its presence in astrology intensifies and strengthens all sectors or planets it touches. It is a sign of intense change, upheaval, and rebirth. Obsessive behavior, taboos and compulsions, crises and hidden secrets are all signs of Pluto's transformative nature. Understanding the transformative nature of Pluto in astrology means embracing change, recognizing the power of personal and collective transformation, and recognizing the renewal and growth that comes from facing life's challenges. Conclusion: embracing the power of Pluto in Western astrology. Pluto is the planet of change, destruction, and rebirth. It plays an important role in Western astrology, influencing us individually and collectively. Its transits in our birth charts indicate areas of intense growth and significant periods of social change. Pluto is often associated with destruction, but its energy can also be used to bring about growth and rebirth. When we confront the shadow self and incorporate its lessons, we can use the energy of Pluto to heal and empower ourselves. Understanding the transformative nature of Pluto emphasizes the fact that change is inevitable and the power to accept it. This can lead to deep growth and the continuous development of individuals and societies. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Sun in astrology? When Pluto is in conjunction with the Sun in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Sun are closely aligned in the same degree of the zodiac, typically within a few degrees of each other. This conjunction is an intense and transformative aspect, blending the Sun's core identity, vitality, and purpose with Pluto's deep power, regeneration, and subconscious forces. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Sun aspect. Intense personality and commanding presence. Individuals with Pluto conjunct the Sun possess a magnetic and forceful personality that naturally draws attention. Their aura is powerful, often exuding authority, intensity, and an undeniable presence that can inspire, lead, or at times intimidate those around them. Transformational life path with a strong sense of destiny. Life for these individuals is marked by profound transformations and pivotal turning points that shape their identity. There is often a deep feeling of being led by fate toward a significant mission or purpose, compelling them to evolve continually and rise through challenges like a phoenix from the ashes. Powerful will, determination, and drive for achievement. The fusion of the Sun's core vitality with Pluto's relentless force produces immense willpower and determination. These individuals pursue their goals with unwavering focus and resilience, often overcoming obstacles that might defeat others. Psychological depth and penetrating insight. This aspect grants a natural ability to delve into the hidden layers of reality and the subconscious mind. Individuals often display a fascination with psychology, mystery, or the unseen, giving them profound insight into human behavior and inner motivations. Fascination with power and control. Potential for self-mastery or manipulation. Pluto conjunct the Sun often brings a heightened awareness and interest in power dynamics. This can manifest constructively through self-mastery and transformative leadership, or destructively through controlling manipulative tendencies if the energy is misused. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Sun in astrology? When Pluto is in opposition with the Sun in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Sun are positioned directly across from each other in the zodiac, typically at a 180-degree angle, within an orb of a few degrees. This opposition creates a powerful tension between the Sun's conscious self-expression, identity, and vitality, and Pluto's deep forces of transformation, power struggles, and hidden psychological undercurrents. Unlike a conjunction where these energies blend, the opposition manifests externally, often through intense relationships, conflicts with authority, and profound life transformations. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Sun aspect. Power struggles and external challenges. This aspect brings intense confrontations with authority figures, dominant personalities, or life circumstances that challenge personal autonomy. External events often force individuals to redefine their identity and approach to power. Transformative relationships. Relationships act as mirrors for deep power dynamics, often involving control, manipulation, or intensity. These encounters push individuals to maintain inner strength and learn healthy ways of handling power struggles. Confrontation with systems and structures. There's often tension with societal systems, governments, or collective power structures. This opposition can make individuals question established authority and provoke significant shifts in their social role. Deep inner transformation. Through facing fears and vulnerabilities, individuals undergo profound psychological growth. The external pressures ultimately drive internal empowerment and the shedding of limiting patterns. Harnessing power constructively. When balanced, this aspect grants the potential for strong influence and leadership. By embracing change without destructive tendencies, individuals can transform challenges into wisdom and impactful authority. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Sun in astrology? When Pluto is in trine with the Sun in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Sun are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious aspect that allows their energies to flow effortlessly. Unlike the conjunction, which can create intense inner transformation, or the opposition, which brings external power struggles, the trine creates an innate ability to harness Pluto's deep power, resilience, and transformative qualities in a natural and constructive way. This aspect enhances personal strength, charisma, and the capacity to influence others positively, while undergoing continuous self-growth. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Sun aspect. Natural resilience and inner strength. They possess a steady core of power and self-assurance, facing challenges with calm determination. External pressures rarely destabilize their sense of self. Effortless personal transformation and reinvention. Growth happens smoothly and organically. They shed outdated patterns with ease and instinctively know when to evolve, making transformation a natural part of their journey. Magnetic charisma and influence. Their confident, intense presence draws others in. They inspire and persuade through authenticity and depth, not force or domination. Strong sense of purpose and direction. They have a clear inner vision of their goals and pursue them with unwavering focus, passion, and determination, often becoming powerful agents of change. Deep psychological and power insight. They intuitively understand human motives and power dynamics, navigating leadership and emotional complexities with ease and wisdom. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Sun in astrology? When Pluto is square the Sun in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Sun are positioned 90 degrees apart. creating a challenging and dynamic aspect that fosters deep personal transformation. This square generates intense internal struggles, power dynamics, and a need to confront hidden fears, ego battles, and deep-seated psychological conditioning. Unlike the trine, which allows for smooth evolution, or the opposition, which externalizes power struggles, Pluto's square sun manifests as an internal crisis that demands continuous self-reinvention and personal empowerment. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square sun aspect. Deep-seated fear of loss or failure. Pluto square sun activates intense fears of losing control, being overpowered, or failing, often leading to inner power struggles and compulsive behaviors that shape identity. Radical personal transformation through crisis. Major upheavals in career, relationships, or beliefs force individuals to confront hidden weaknesses and undergo profound psychological and personal change. Highly intense and uncompromising personality. There is a powerful, unwavering intensity in character, combined with a relentless drive for authenticity that rejects superficiality and exposes deeper truths. Repeated phoenix-like rebirths. Life unfolds through cycles of destruction and renewal, where old ego patterns are stripped away, leading to significant identity shifts and regeneration. Learning to embrace power without fear. The ultimate lesson is to integrate personal power with wisdom rather than domination, unlocking the potential for transformative influence and leadership. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Sun in astrology? When Pluto is sextile the Sun in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Sun are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating aspect. Unlike the trine, which allows for effortless transformation, the sextile provides opportunities for growth, empowerment, and renewal, but these must be actively pursued. This aspect enhances personal strength, resilience, and charisma while offering the ability to influence others positively, embrace change with ease, and harness deep psychological insights. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Sun aspect. Strong intuition and psychological insight. Heightened emotional awareness allows for deep understanding of hidden motives and subtle dynamics, making them naturally perceptive and intuitive. Ability to embrace emotional transformation. They willingly explore intense feelings and use emotional evolution as a tool for growth, fostering resilience and psychological depth. Balanced approach to power in relationships. They navigate emotional power dynamics with respect and trust, fostering deep bonds without control or manipulation. Strong connection to family roots and ancestral healing. There is a natural pull toward ancestral patterns and family karma, with the ability to bring healing and transformation to generational wounds. Ability to channel emotions into creative or healing outlets. They can transform emotional intensity into meaningful expression through art, counseling, or other healing avenues. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Moon in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct the Moon in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Moon are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, blending their energies intensely. Since the Moon governs emotions, instincts, and the subconscious, and Pluto represents transformation, power, and deep psychological processes, this conjunction creates a highly emotional, intense, and transformative nature. Unlike a trine or sextile, which harmonizes their energies, this conjunction amplifies both Pluto's depth and the Moon's emotional sensitivity, leading to profound emotional experiences, deep psychological insight, and the potential for major inner transformations. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Moon aspect. Extreme emotional intensity and transformation. Emotions are experienced with overwhelming depth, triggering repeated cycles of inner death and rebirth. This aspect pushes continual psychological and emotional evolution through intense feelings, deep psychological insight and intuition. There is a heightened ability to perceive hidden motives and emotional undercurrents in themselves and others. They can see through facades with sharp emotional intuition. Power dynamics in emotional life. Emotions and control are closely linked. Individuals may oscillate between exerting emotional power and feeling manipulated, making awareness of these dynamics essential for growth. Transformative family and mother connection. The relationship with the mother or early emotional environment is intense and often formative. It may involve control, deep bonding, or unresolved psychological imprints that shape emotional patterns. Fear of emotional vulnerability. A deep fear of being emotionally exposed leads to self-protection and difficulty in opening up. Trust issues often arise from past emotional power struggles or perceived betrayals. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Moon in astrology? When Pluto is opposite the Moon in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Moon are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a tense and polarizing dynamic between deep emotional needs, Moon, and intense transformation, control, and power struggles, Pluto. This aspect often manifests through external conflicts, emotional upheavals, deep-seated fears, and a need to balance emotional vulnerability with personal power. Unlike the conjunction which internalizes Pluto's influence, the opposition externalizes it, meaning the individual often encounters Pluto's themes through relationships, family, and life circumstances. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Moon aspect. Emotional power struggles. A strong push-pull exists between emotional needs and control issues, often manifesting as manipulation, domination, or intense emotional confrontations in close relationships. External triggers for transformation. Profound emotional changes are catalyzed by external events or people who force the individual to confront deep fears, vulnerabilities, and hidden emotional patterns. Difficulty balancing emotions and control. There is an ongoing struggle to find emotional stability while navigating the tension between genuine connection and the fear of being controlled or emotionally overpowered. Attracting intense or toxic relationships. Individuals often draw emotionally intense, possessive, or toxic relationships that mirror inner power dynamics, becoming arenas for emotional and psychological transformation. Fear of dependency and distrust. A deep fear of emotional dependency leads to guardedness and strong emotional defenses. Though emotionally intuitive, they often distrust others' motives in close bonds. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Moon in astrology? When Pluto is trine the Moon in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Moon are positioned 120 degrees apart, creating a harmonious flow between deep emotional intensity, Moon, and transformational power, Pluto. Unlike the opposition, which externalizes Pluto's challenges, or the conjunction, which amplifies its intensity, the trine allows for natural emotional resilience, deep psychological insight, and the ability to transform oneself with ease. This aspect provides an innate ability to navigate intense emotions, heal from past wounds, and influence others through emotional depth and wisdom. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Moon aspect. Ability to help others through emotional healing. They have a natural gift for guiding others through emotional transformation, offering therapeutic presence and deep support in times of crisis. Strong connection to the subconscious mind. Pluto's influence grants deep access to hidden layers of the psyche, fostering vivid dreams, intuitive insights, and a natural pull towards psychological and spiritual exploration. Emotional self-mastery and maturity. They regulate intense emotions with ease, embracing emotional challenges as opportunities for growth, often showing wisdom and composure beyond their years. A life filled with meaningful transformations. Their emotional journey flows through continuous, smooth transformations that deepen resilience, insight, and personal empowerment over time. Balanced emotional power without manipulation. They understand emotional power without resorting to control, using their influence ethically and wisely in relationships and emotional interactions. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Moon in astrology? When Pluto is square the Moon in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Moon are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a powerful and challenging aspect. The Moon represents emotions, instincts, security, and the subconscious, while Pluto signifies transformation, power, control, and deep psychological undercurrents. The square aspect creates internal tension, emotional upheaval, and intense struggles related to vulnerability, trust, and personal power. This placement forces individuals to confront deep emotional wounds, fears, and power struggles in order to achieve true emotional empowerment. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Moon aspect. Power struggles and personal relationships. This aspect often brings emotional power dynamics involving control, manipulation, or dependency, especially within close bonds, challenging trust and vulnerability. Emotional turmoil and inner conflict. There is a constant clash between emotional security and transformative pressures, leading to unstable emotional patterns, trust issues, and deep inner tension. Deep fears of loss and abandonment. Pluto magnifies fears of emotional betrayal or rejection, causing individuals to either cling intensely to others or push them away as a protective response. Difficult childhood or family dynamics. Early emotional environments may involve intensity, control, or turbulence, especially with the mother figure, shaping emotional patterns and adult relationship behaviors. Need for control over emotions. The overwhelming intensity of feelings often leads to suppression, emotional extremes, or rigid self-protection, making vulnerability both desired and feared. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Moon in astrology? When Pluto is sextile the Moon in astrology, it means that Pluto and the Moon are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating aspect. Unlike the trine, which allows for effortless emotional transformation, the sextile provides opportunities for deep emotional growth, empowerment, and healing, but these must be actively pursued. This aspect enhances emotional resilience, psychological insight, and the ability to navigate intense emotions constructively, making it a powerful placement for self-mastery, healing, and meaningful emotional connections. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Moon aspect. strong intuition and psychological insight. There is a heightened emotional awareness and an ability to perceive hidden motives, giving deep intuitive and psychological understanding of oneself and others. Emotional transformation and resilience. They naturally embrace emotional evolution, using intense feelings as catalysts for growth, healing, and inner strength rather than avoiding them. Balanced power in relationships. They navigate emotional power dynamics with depth and respect, fostering trust-based bonds without control or manipulation. Family roots and ancestral healing. This aspect strengthens the connection to lineage and supports the healing of generational patterns, enabling emotional renewal through ancestral insight. Creative and healing expression. They can channel deep emotions into artistic, therapeutic, or transformative outlets, turning inner intensity into meaningful contributions. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Mercury in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Mercury in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mercury are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, merging their energies intensely. Since Mercury represents communication, intellect, perception, and thought processes, and Pluto signifies depth, transformation, power, and hidden truths, this aspect creates an individual with a penetrating mind, intense curiosity, and a deep need to uncover what lies beneath the surface. Unlike the opposition, which externalizes Pluto's intensity, or the trine, which allows for effortless depth, the conjunction amplifies Pluto's transformative influence on the mind and communication style, leading to powerful insights, psychological depth, and sometimes an obsessive way of thinking. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Mercury aspect. Deep and penetrating intellect. Pluto conjunct Mercury produces an intensely analytical mind that seeks hidden truths and profound insights, never settling for surface-level understanding. Obsessive curiosity and investigation. There is a relentless drive to research, analyze, and uncover mysteries, often leading to expertise in psychology, philosophy, the occult, or investigative fields. Intuitive and psychological perception. Their thinking functions like a detective's, picking up on hidden motives and subtle cues, giving them sharp insight and persuasive power in communication. Powerful and influential communication. Their speech carries intensity and authority, enabling them to persuade, influence, or even intimidate through words, making them impactful communicators. Mental fixation and control tendencies. Their strong willpower can turn into obsessive thinking or the urge to control narratives, which, if misused, may lead to manipulation or mental rigidity. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Mercury in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Mercury in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mercury are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a dynamic and often confrontational tension between deep psychological power, Pluto, and intellectual communication, Mercury. This aspect brings intense mental challenges, powerful debates, and struggles between control and freedom in thoughts, speech, and beliefs. Unlike the conjunction which internalizes Pluto's influence or the trine which harmonizes it, the opposition often leads to externalized power struggles, intense intellectual conflicts, and a need to balance deep analysis with open-mindedness. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Mercury aspect. Intense intellectual power struggles. Pluto opposite Mercury often manifests as heated debates, verbal confrontations, and externalized battles over ideas, reflecting deep tensions between control and expression. Mind drawn to controversial and hidden truths. There is a natural pull toward taboo, unsettling, or transformative subjects, provoking strong reactions from others and challenging conventional thinking. Struggles with mental control and influence. Individuals may feel their thoughts are pressured or manipulated by external forces, authority figures, or dominant ideologies, leading to intense internal resistance. Encounters with mentally dominating figures. They often attract or confront powerful communicators, mentors, teachers, or opponents who try to shape or control their intellectual framework. Need to balance intensity with openness. The key challenge is to engage in dialogue without manipulation or defensiveness, learning to balance sharp perception with intellectual flexibility. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Mercury in astrology? When Pluto is trine Mercury in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mercury are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and natural flow between depth of thought Pluto and intellectual expression Mercury. Unlike the conjunction, which can be overwhelming, or the opposition, which creates mental power struggles, the trine allows for seamless integration of Pluto's transformative depth into Mercury's intellectual and communicative functions. This aspect grants a sharp mind, powerful communication abilities, deep analytical skills, and an intuitive understanding of hidden truths. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Mercury aspect. Deep and penetrating intellect. Pluto trine Mercury gives a natural ability to analyze complex subjects and uncover hidden truths, seeking depth and meaning beyond surface-level interpretations. Natural psychological insight. This aspect enhances understanding of human behavior, emotions, and motivations, enabling accurate perception of underlying intentions and patterns. Powerful and persuasive communication. Individuals can influence, persuade, and captivate others with their words, making them effective speakers, writers, or negotiators. Ability to uncover hidden information. There is a strong drive for investigation and research, with a talent for revealing secrets or insights overlooked by others. Strategic focus and mental discipline. Pluto trine Mercury fosters intense concentrations, strategic thinking, and foresight, allowing for deep problem-solving and long-term planning. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Mercury in astrology? When Pluto is square Mercury in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mercury are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a challenging and transformative tension between intellect and power. Mercury governs thought processes, communication, reasoning, and information processing, while Pluto represents deep transformation, hidden truths, intensity, and psychological depth. This aspect can manifest as mental power struggles, obsessive thinking, intense debates, and difficulties in communication. Unlike the trine, which allows for smooth integration, the square forces intellectual transformation through challenges, confrontations, and deep self-examination. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Mercury aspect. Intense and obsessive thinking. Pluto square Mercury creates a penetrating, analytical mind that constantly seeks hidden truths, often leading to overthinking or fixations on complex ideas. Mental power struggles. This aspect can manifest as intellectual conflicts or debates, with a strong drive to assert ideas, challenge authority, or dominate discussions. Challenges in clear expression. Depth of thought can make communication difficult, as ideas may be too complex or intense for others to easily understand. Strong investigative and persuasive ability. Individuals naturally probe beneath the surface in research or analysis and can influence or persuade others effectively, though manipulation is a potential risk. Difficulty letting go of intellectual conflicts. They may dwell on past debates or disagreements, replaying arguments mentally and resisting imposed beliefs or authority over ideas. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Mercury in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Mercury in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mercury are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating connection between deep transformation, Pluto, and intellectual perception, Mercury. Unlike the trine, which allows for effortless mental depth, the sextile provides opportunities for intellectual growth, deep analysis, and powerful communication, but these abilities must be actively developed. This aspect enhances mental focus, persuasive speech, investigative abilities, and the capacity to see beyond surface-level information. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Mercury aspect. Deep and powerful intellect. Pluto sextile Mercury grants a naturally inquisitive mind that seeks hidden truths in complex concepts, allowing for profound understanding beyond surface-level information. Intellectual transformation opportunities. Life presents experiences, people, or ideas that challenge and expand their thinking, fostering continuous personal growth and mental evolution. Persuasive and impactful communication. Words carry authority and depth, enabling these individuals to speak or write with precision, influence, and compelling intensity. Instinctive psychological insight. They can read people effortlessly, grasp motivations, and detect subtle cues, making them adept at negotiation, counseling, and strategic thinking. Strong focus and investigative ability. This aspect provides sustained mental concentration, allowing them to uncover hidden information and excel in research, analysis, or investigative pursuits. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Venus in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Venus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Venus are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, merging their energies intensely. Venus governs love, relationships, beauty, values, and pleasure, while Pluto represents transformation, intensity, power, control, and deep psychological forces. This aspect creates deep, passionate, and transformative relationships, but it also brings emotional intensity, power struggles, and a strong magnetic attraction in love and social interactions. Unlike softer Venus aspects, Pluto's influence makes emotions intense, compelling, and sometimes overwhelming, leading to powerful and fated romantic experiences. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Venus aspect. Intense and transformative relationship. Pluto conjunct Venus brings deep, soul-stirring connections that profoundly shape identity, with relationships often being all or nothing and highly transformative. Magnetic and irresistible attraction. This aspect endows individuals with a powerful, almost hypnotic charm, naturally drawing people toward their intense and enigmatic energy. Obsession and emotional intensity. Love can become all-consuming with strong attachments and emotional highs and lows, requiring lessons in emotional balance and detachment. Power dynamics in love. Relationships may involve subtle or overt struggles for control, dominance, or influence, reflecting Pluto's transformative and intense energy. Attraction to intense or challenging partnerships. They often draw partners who provoke deep emotional challenges, catalyzing personal growth through confrontation with hidden fears or insecurities. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Venus in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Venus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Venus are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a strong tension between love, beauty, and harmony, Venus and power, control, and transformation, Pluto. This aspect signifies intense, magnetic, and often challenging relationships where passion, power struggles, obsession, and deep emotional transformation play a major role. Unlike the conjunction, which internalizes Pluto's energy, or the trine, which allows for smooth integration, the opposition brings external conflicts, polarizing emotional experiences, and lessons in balance between love and power. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Venus aspect. Emotional codependency and detachment. Pluto opposite Venus creates oscillation between intense dependency and complete detachment in relationships, demanding a balance between vulnerability and autonomy. Struggles with self-worth and validation. Deep insecurities may drive the need for external love and approval, highlighting lessons in self-love and recognizing intrinsic worth. Crisis-oriented relationships. Love life often involves emotionally intense or transformative relationships that challenge personal boundaries and foster growth through upheaval. Transformation through love and intimacy. Each significant relationship acts as a catalyst for emotional rebirth, reshaping perspectives on love, intimacy, and personal empowerment. Creative expression of emotional depth. Venus-Pluto opposition channels profound emotional intensity into artistic or creative outlets, allowing transformation and healing through self-expression. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Venus in astrology? When Pluto is trine Venus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Venus are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and naturally flowing connection between love, beauty, relationships, Venus, and transformation, depth, power, and intensity, Pluto. Unlike the opposition, which creates conflicts in love, or the conjunction, which amplifies intensity to an overwhelming degree, the trine allows these energies to work together smoothly and beneficially. This aspect enhances emotional depth, magnetic attraction, and transformative love experiences, making relationships profound, deeply fulfilling, and regenerative. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Venus aspect. Deep and transformative love. Pluto trine Venus allows individuals to experience profound, emotionally transformative relationships that foster growth for both partners. Natural magnetism and personal attraction. They exude quiet charm, mystery, and sensuality, drawing others effortlessly while maintaining depth and emotional intensity. Healthy and emotionally powerful relationships. This aspect supports harmonious, balanced connections where trust, intimacy, and mutual growth flourish naturally. Manifestation of love and abundance. The combination of Venus and Pluto energy enhances the ability to attract fulfilling love, success, and abundance through focus and intention. Long-lasting romantic and life connections. Relationships tend to be stable, evolving, and meaningful, contributing to lifelong emotional growth and transformative experiences. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Venus in astrology? When Pluto is square Venus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Venus are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a challenging and intense tension between love, relationships, beauty, values, Venus, and power, transformation, control, and obsession, Pluto. This aspect generates passionate, dramatic, and sometimes turbulent love experiences marked by power struggles, emotional extremes, and deep transformation. Unlike the trine, which allows for a smooth flow of Pluto's energy, the square creates conflict and pressure, often forcing individuals to confront deep-seated fears, emotional insecurities, and control issues in relationships. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Venus aspect. Fear of abandonment and trust issues. Pluto trine Venus can heighten sensitivity to loss or betrayal, often creating challenges in fully trusting partners and necessitating conscious emotional awareness. Intense and transformative relationships. Romantic connections feel fated or karmic, pushing individuals to evolve emotionally through deep love, intense bonds, or transformative separations. Love, hate, and emotional extremes. Relationships can involve swings between deep affection and intense frustration, requiring emotional regulation to navigate power dynamics and conflicts. Magnetic sexuality with emotional complexity. Attraction is strong and magnetic, but emotional intimacy may be complicated by jealousy, control issues, or unconscious manipulation. Attraction to intense or challenging partners. Individuals may draw powerful, dominant, or emotionally complex partners, offering opportunities to confront and heal deep-seated emotional wounds. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Venus in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Venus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Venus are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating connection between love, beauty, relationships, and values, Venus, and depth, power, transformation, and intensity, Pluto. Unlike the square, which creates emotional conflicts, or the opposition, which leads to power struggles in love, the sextile provides opportunities for deep emotional growth, passionate relationships, and financial empowerment, but these must be actively developed. This aspect enhances magnetism, emotional depth, and the ability to transform relationships into something deeply fulfilling. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Venus aspect. Deep and passionate love. Pluto sextile Venus fosters emotionally intense and meaningful relationships that encourage growth, transformation, and lasting bonds. Natural magnetism and charm. This aspect enhances personal allure and charisma, making individuals captivating and effortlessly attractive to others. Relationships that evolve over time. Love is dynamic and transformative. They embrace growth with their partners and avoid clinging to outdated patterns. Healthy relationship boundaries. They balance emotional intimacy with independence, fostering deep connections without dependency or manipulation. Karmic and transformative experiences. Relationships and experiences often feel fated, offering profound lessons and opportunities for personal and emotional transformation. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Mars in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Mars in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mars are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, merging their energies in an intense and transformative way. Mars represents action, drive, ambition, aggression, and physical energy, while Pluto governs power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth. This conjunction creates an incredibly strong will, intense determination, and an almost unstoppable force of ambition and resilience. Unlike softer Mars aspects, Pluto's presence amplifies Mars's raw energy, making individuals with this aspect highly driven, strategic, and capable of extraordinary feats of endurance and achievement. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Mars aspect: unstoppable drive and willpower. Pluto conjunct Mars gives relentless determination and focus, enabling individuals to push beyond limits and achieve ambitious goals with discipline and persistence. Extreme intensity in action. Their actions and decisions are charged with passion and urgency, approaching work, competition, and relationships with profound purpose. Strategic and calculated approach. Unlike impulsive Mars energy, Pluto adds strategy and methodical planning, directing efforts toward high-stakes goals that lead to transformation and power. Fearlessness and resilience. This aspect provides courage to confront obstacles and challenges head-on with warrior-like endurance and the ability to recover quickly from setbacks. Highly competitive and obsessed with achievement. They possess a strong drive to dominate and succeed, often becoming intensely focused on mastery and excelling in their chosen pursuits. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Mars in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Mars in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mars are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a highly charged, confrontational, and transformative dynamic between action, drive, and aggression, Mars, and power, control, destruction, and rebirth, Pluto. This aspect brings intense struggles between personal will and external forces, often manifesting as power struggles, confrontations, challenges with authority, and deep inner conflicts about control and dominance. Unlike the conjunction which internalizes Pluto's power, or the trine which harmonizes it, the opposition externalizes these forces, leading to tension-filled interactions with others, competitive challenges, and cycles of destruction and rebirth in ambitions and goals. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Mars aspect. Power struggles and confrontations. Pluto opposite Mars generates intense competition and conflicts, often involving authority figures, rivals, or systems, forcing individuals to confront control and dominance issues. Intense inner and outer aggression. This aspect amplifies raw energy and assertiveness, resulting in explosive reactions, strong willpower, and challenges in managing anger or impulses. Deep resentment and emotional reactivity. Individuals may harbor long-held grudges or feel highly reactive to threats, requiring conscious effort to avoid destructive behavior or obsessive conflicts. Power dynamics in intimacy and relationships. Pluto's influence over Mars creates magnetic but intense connections, often involving control, dominance, or passionate yet volatile encounters. Cycles of conflict and personal transformation. Life under this aspect involves repeated challenges and rebuilds, promoting profound growth, resilience, and the ability to channel energy productively. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Mars in astrology? When Pluto is trine Mars in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mars are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and powerful connection between action, ambition and drive, Mars, and power, transformation, and regeneration, Pluto. Unlike the opposition, which brings externalized conflict, or the square, which creates tension, the trine allows Mars's assertiveness and Pluto's intensity to work together effortlessly. This results in a strong will, focused energy, resilience, and the ability to create deep transformations through action and ambition. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Mars aspect. Unwavering determination and strategic action. Pluto trine Mars gives strong ambition, self-discipline, and the ability to act with precision. They combine relentless drive with calculated, effective strategies to achieve goals. Fearlessness in the face of challenges. They confront adversity with courage and resilience, navigating obstacles confidently and emerging stronger from struggles. Transformation through action. Their efforts go beyond results. They have the ability to deeply transform situations, organizations, and personal lives through focused and purposeful action. Passion and intensity in personal endeavors. Whether in work, hobbies, or relationships, they approach everything with dedication, depth, and intensity, refusing mediocrity. Instinctive understanding of power and magnetism. They naturally grasp power dynamics, using influence wisely, and often possess magnetic charisma and strong sexual energy that enhance personal and professional relationships. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Mars in astrology? When Pluto is square Mars in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mars are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a high-intensity, volatile, and challenging dynamic between action, aggression, and ambition, Mars, and power, control, destruction, and transformation, Pluto. This aspect fuels an explosive drive, extreme competitiveness, and a powerful need to assert dominance, but it also brings inner turmoil, power struggles, and a tendency towards self-destructive tendencies if not managed properly. Unlike the trine, which allows these two forces to work in harmony, the square creates friction that must be channeled constructively to avoid dangerous conflicts, burnout, or destructive behaviors. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Mars aspect. Intense drive and ambition. Pluto square Mars creates a relentless urge to achieve, pushing individuals to pursue goals obsessively, but they must manage burnout and extremes. Power struggles and competitiveness. This aspect intensifies rivalry and conflict with authority or peers, often triggering internal and external battles for control and dominance. Explosive anger and emotional intensity. Mars's aggression combined with Pluto's intensity can lead to rage, impulsive outbursts, and destructive behavior if emotional regulation is lacking. Risk-taking in dangerous situations. Individuals may attract high conflict or risky circumstances due to their magnetic intensity, requiring caution and conflict de-escalation skills. Physical, sexual, and mental stamina. This aspect grants powerful endurance, sexual magnetism, and resilience, but lessons in self-discipline and ethical use of power are essential. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Mars in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Mars in astrology, it means that Pluto and Mars are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating connection between raw action, ambition, and physical energy, Mars, and deep power, transformation, and intensity Pluto. Unlike the square, which creates tension, or the opposition, which externalizes conflicts, the sextile provides opportunities for strength, strategic action, and self-mastery, but these must be actively developed. This aspect enhances courage, resilience, and the ability to use power wisely, making individuals capable of disciplined action, intelligent risk-taking, and achieving deep personal transformations. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Mars aspect. Strategic action and long-term success. Pluto sextile Mars allows individuals to plan carefully and take calculated risks, achieving meaningful and lasting results without impulsiveness. Controlled and focused drive. The combination of Mars's energy and Pluto's depth channels ambition into productive goals, maintaining efficiency and avoiding unnecessary conflicts or distractions. Powerful endurance and regeneration. They possess exceptional physical and emotional stamina, able to push through exhaustion or setbacks and recover stronger from challenges. Wise approach to confrontation. This aspect grants discernment in conflicts, knowing when to act and when to conserve energy, making them effective competitors and negotiators. Achievement through discipline and strategy. A balance of ambition, patience, and intelligence ensures steady personal transformation and a lifetime of meaningful accomplishments. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Jupiter in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Jupiter in astrology, it means that Pluto and Jupiter are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, blending their energies in a powerful and transformative way. Jupiter represents expansion, growth, philosophy, abundance, and optimism, while Pluto governs power, transformation, destruction, rebirth, and deep psychological forces. This conjunction creates immense ambition, a desire for power and influence, profound spiritual and intellectual depth, and the ability to transform life on a grand scale. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Jupiter aspect. Lifetime of transformation. Pluto conjunct Jupiter brings repeated cycles of loss, rebirth, and personal reinvention, fostering profound growth, resilience, and enlightenment over time. Global or political influence. This aspect often empowers individuals to shape larger systems, achieving influence in politics, economics, or social movements through vision and strategic action. Potential for greatness or hubris. While it offers immense power and success, it also carries the risk of overconfidence or ethical lapses, requiring humility and balance to fully harness its potential. Financial transformation and wealth potential. The combination of Pluto's power and Jupiter's abundance supports wealth accumulation and economic influence, though financial cycles may involve losses and restructuring. Deep spiritual and ideological growth. This conjunction encourages transformative spiritual and intellectual evolution, often driving individuals to challenge beliefs, pursue justice, and seek deeper meaning in life. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Jupiter in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Jupiter in astrology, it means that Pluto and Jupiter are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a dynamic tension between expansion, growth, and abundance, Jupiter, and power, control, transformation, and destruction, Pluto. This aspect brings extreme highs and lows in ambition, wealth, belief systems, and personal power, often leading to major ideological conflicts, power struggles, and a tendency to oscillate between reckless overconfidence and deep crises of transformation. Unlike the conjunction which merges these two energies, the opposition forces them into a push-pull battle, where individuals must learn to balance their grand visions with realistic power management. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Jupiter aspect. Extremes in ambition and risk. Pluto opposite Jupiter creates swings between overconfidence and doubt, driving high-stakes actions that can result in either significant success or dramatic failure. Tension with power and authority. This aspect generates a push-pull dynamic between personal freedom and control, leading to conflicts with authority figures and challenges in leadership or career paths. Clashes between beliefs and reality. Individuals face constant tests of their ideals, encountering societal or external forces that challenge their personal philosophies and moral frameworks. Attracted to intense opportunities and crises. There is a magnetic pull toward extreme situations in business, relationships, or personal endeavors, often bringing sudden opportunities alongside equally dramatic obstacles. Transformation of belief systems. Rigid or dogmatic views may evolve through crises, requiring individuals to reconcile personal ambitions with practical realities and develop balanced, empowered perspectives. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Jupiter in astrology? When Pluto is trine Jupiter in astrology, it means that Pluto and Jupiter are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and naturally flowing connection between expansion, wisdom, and abundance, Jupiter, and power, transformation, and deep regeneration, Pluto. Unlike the opposition which creates tension, or the square which requires overcoming struggles, the trine allows these energies to work together effortlessly, creating opportunities for success, deep wisdom, and impactful transformation. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Jupiter aspect. Strategic ambition and success. Pluto trine Jupiter combines ambition with calculated strategy, allowing individuals to pursue major goals effectively and achieve long-term success without reckless risks. Natural leadership and influence. This aspect grants a commanding presence and transformative vision, enabling individuals to inspire respect and guide others through wisdom rather than force. Wealth creation and opportunities. The harmonious blend of Pluto's transformative power and Jupiter's abundance attracts financial growth, investments, and long-term economic stability. Strong sense of purpose. Individuals feel connected to a greater mission, driven to make a lasting impact and fulfill meaningful life goals aligned with their destiny. Resilience and regeneration. They possess exceptional recovery abilities, bouncing back from setbacks stronger and wiser, using challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Jupiter in astrology? When Pluto is squared Jupiter in astrology, it means that Pluto and Jupiter are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a dynamic and challenging tension between expansion, optimism, and belief systems. Jupiter and power, control, transformation, and intensity, Pluto. This aspect can lead to extreme ambition, power struggles, financial highs and lows, and a tendency toward excessive risk-taking. Unlike the trine, which allows these energies to work harmoniously, the square creates conflict that must be resolved through conscious effort, discipline, and ethical awareness. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Jupiter aspect. Extreme ambition and high risk. Pluto square Jupiter fuels intense ambition, driving individuals toward major achievements but also exposing them to reckless decisions and high-stakes risks. Power and control struggles. There is a strong drive to dominate or expand influence, often met with resistance from authority figures or competitors, creating tension in leadership and decision-making. Conflicts with authority and belief systems. Individuals may challenge or rebel against established systems, laws, or philosophies, leading to both personal growth and ideological clashes. Financial extremes. This aspect can bring significant wealth but also dramatic losses, requiring careful management and strategic planning to navigate financial highs and lows. Ethical and moral challenges. The pursuit of success and power may tempt manipulation or coercion, making the conscious balancing of ambition with integrity a key life lesson. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Jupiter in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Jupiter in astrology, it means that Pluto and Jupiter are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet stimulating connection between expansion, abundance, and belief systems. Jupiter in power, transformation, and deep regeneration. Pluto, unlike the square, which creates challenges, or the opposition, which leads to power struggles, the sextile offers opportunities for strategic growth, personal evolution, and responsible use of power. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Jupiter aspect. Strategic ambition with long-term vision. Pluto sextile Jupiter provides patience, foresight, and careful planning, enabling individuals to pursue big goals with calculated and sustainable steps, transforming challenges into opportunities. They naturally turn obstacles into growth experiences, using Pluto's transformative energy and Jupiter's optimism to convert setbacks into stepping stones for success. Balanced use of power and influence. This aspect fosters responsible leadership, allowing individuals to wield authority wisely and inspire others without resorting to control or domination, creating lasting wealth and success. They possess a talent for financial planning, business, and investments, using discipline and strategic insight to build long-term economic security. Strong sense of purpose and intuitive insight. They feel driven by destiny and higher goals, combining intuitive understanding of power structures with purposeful action to make meaningful, lasting impact. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Saturn in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Saturn in astrology, it means that Pluto and Saturn are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, blending their energies in an intense, disciplined, and deeply transformative way. Saturn represents structure, discipline, responsibility, limitations, and endurance, while Pluto governs power, destruction, transformation, and rebirth. This conjunction creates a strong-willed, highly disciplined, and relentless individual who is capable of overcoming extreme challenges and emerging stronger. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Saturn aspect. Extreme determination and unbreakable willpower. Pluto conjunct Saturn endows individuals with an unshakable will, allowing them to endure extreme challenges and emerge stronger each time. Life of transformation and reinvention. This aspect brings major upheavals in careers, relationships, or belief systems, requiring repeated rebuilding and personal reinvention. Highly disciplined and responsible nature. These individuals possess strong discipline, a deep sense of duty, and a commitment to hard work, rarely taking shortcuts. Intense focus and long-term endurance. Exceptional patience, concentration, and resilience enable them to succeed in long-term projects and strategic endeavors. Deep understanding of power and control. They gain profound insight into authority and power dynamics, making them effective in leadership roles while learning to balance control with flexibility. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Saturn in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Saturn in astrology, it means that Pluto and Saturn are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a tension-filled and challenging dynamic between structure, discipline, and authority, Saturn, and power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, Pluto. This aspect brings intense struggles with control, resistance to change, and periods of forced transformation through external pressures. Unlike the conjunction, which merges these energies, the opposition externalizes the conflict, making individuals experience power struggles with authority figures, institutions, or even their own internal sense of control. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Saturn aspect. Intense struggles with authority and power. Pluto opposite Saturn often triggers conflicts with authority figures, institutions, or internal control, creating a push-pull between dominance and submission, resistance to change and transformation. Saturn's need for stability clashes with Pluto's demand for renewal, generating tension between holding on to old structures and embracing necessary change. Cycles of crisis and reinvention. Individuals experience repeated breakdowns and rebuilds in careers, relationships, or beliefs, often driven by external pressures demanding adaptation. Fear of losing control. There is a deep-seated fear of losing power or stability, which can lead to rigidity, over-control, or obsessive attempts to maintain security. Breakdown of traditional structures. This aspect forces re-evaluation of personal, societal, or familial systems, prompting a profound restructuring of beliefs, responsibilities, and life frameworks. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Saturn in astrology? When Pluto is trine Saturn in astrology, it means that Pluto and Saturn are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and stabilizing connection between structure, discipline, and responsibility, Saturn, and power, transformation, and deep regeneration, Pluto. Unlike the conjunction, which can feel restrictive, or the opposition, which creates power struggles, the trine allows these two forces to work together seamlessly, creating a person who is disciplined, resilient, strategic, and capable of long-term success. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Saturn aspect. Unbreakable discipline and inner strength. Pluto trine Saturn grants extraordinary self-discipline and resilience, enabling individuals to face challenges with focus, control, and unwavering determination. Strategic thinking and long-term planning. This aspect combines transformative insight with structured foresight, allowing for precise planning and the ability to achieve lasting success over time. Mastery of complex systems. Individuals understand power structures deeply, excelling in business, government, finance, or leadership, and can implement effective reforms or improvements. Natural authority and respect. They exude quiet confidence and wisdom, earning respect effortlessly in professional and leadership roles without needing to assert dominance. Balanced use of power and responsibility. Pluto trine Saturn promotes ethical use of influence, strong duty, and a patient approach to societal or organizational structures, fostering stability and lasting impact. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Saturn in astrology? When Pluto is square Saturn in astrology, it means that Pluto and Saturn are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a tense and challenging relationship between structure, discipline, and authority, Saturn, and power, transformation, and destruction, Pluto. Unlike the trine, which allows these forces to work harmoniously, the square creates conflict and friction, often manifesting as struggles with control, resistance to change, and forced transformations through hardship. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Saturn aspect. Resistance to change and upheavals. Pluto square Saturn creates tension between maintaining stability and embracing transformation, often leading to intense internal or external disruptions when change is resisted. Cycles of crisis and rebuilding. Life unfolds through repeated periods of destruction and reconstruction, requiring individuals to adapt, grow stronger, and gain wisdom through challenging circumstances. Struggles with authority and control. This aspect generates conflicts with external authority or internal power drives, manifesting as battles over dominance in career, relationships, or social structures. Intense fear of failure and loss of control. A deep-seated fear of instability drives individuals to seek rigid control, which can result in obsessive behaviors, paranoia, and excessive self-discipline, high standards, and risk of burnout. They push themselves relentlessly to prove worth through achievement and control, often facing chronic stress, self-criticism, and the need to balance effort with self-care. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Saturn in astrology? When Pluto is square Saturn in astrology, it means that Pluto and Saturn are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a tense and challenging relationship between structure, discipline, and authority, Saturn, and power, transformation, and destruction, Pluto. Unlike the trine, which allows these forces to work harmoniously, the square creates conflict and friction, often manifesting as struggles with control, resistance to change, and forced transformations through hardship. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Saturn aspect. Discipline, transformation, and growth. Pluto sextile Saturn promotes structured and measured personal and professional growth, allowing transformation without chaotic upheaval. Strategic power and control. They navigate power dynamics with wisdom, asserting authority when necessary while maintaining ethical and balanced influence. Excellence in strategic planning. This aspect enhances long-term planning, problem-solving, and risk management, making them skilled in leadership, business, and financial affairs. Talent for structural reform. They excel at improving systems and foundations, identifying inefficiencies, and applying disciplined solutions for lasting change. Calmness in crisis and flexible control. They maintain composure under pressure, balancing control with adaptability to manage challenges effectively and preserve stability. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Uranus in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Uranus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Uranus are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, creating an intense fusion of deep transformation, Pluto, and sudden revolutionary change, Uranus. This conjunction signifies radical shifts, powerful awakenings, and an urge to break away from outdated systems to create something entirely new. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Uranus aspect. Drive for freedom and transformation. Pluto conjunct Uranus creates a powerful urge to break free from restrictions, outdated traditions, and oppressive systems, driving personal and societal transformation, life of sudden changes and rebirth. This aspect brings intense, abrupt shifts that force repeated reinvention, creating cycles of dramatic personal and external transformations. Innovative and unconventional thinking. Individuals with this conjunction are pioneers in technology, philosophy, or social movements, naturally drawn to futuristic ideas and radical innovation. Intuition and psychic insight. The fusion of Pluto's depth and Uranus's higher consciousness enhances perception, foresight, and the ability to understand hidden truths or complex systems. Challenge to authority and collective evolution. They question conformity, challenge social structures, and are driven to evolve both themselves and others, often through activism, reform, or revolutionary initiatives. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Uranus in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Uranus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Uranus are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating a highly volatile and intense dynamic between deep transformation Pluto and sudden radical change Uranus. This opposition represents a struggle between destruction and rebellion, power and revolution, structure and upheaval. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Uranus aspect. Tension between control and freedom. Pluto opposite Uranus creates a struggle between the need for structure and the urge for radical freedom, resulting in internal and external conflicts that demand balance. Unexpected and dramatic changes. This aspect brings unpredictable, life-altering events that force transformation in career, relationships, and personal identity, often beyond conscious choice. Conflict with authority and structures. Individuals challenge societal norms, institutions, and authority while simultaneously navigating their own desires for power and control. Intense sensitivity to power dynamics. They react strongly to injustice, manipulation, and oppression, which can manifest as activism, rebellion, or struggles with controlling tendencies. Need for flexibility and personal reinvention. The volatile energy demands adaptability, resilience, and the ability to embrace sudden collapses as opportunities for profound personal growth and transformation. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Uranus in astrology? When Pluto is trine Uranus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Uranus are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and powerful connection between deep transformation Pluto and radical innovation Uranus. This aspect blends Pluto's intensity, resilience, and ability to regenerate with Uranus's visionary, unconventional, and revolutionary nature, creating a natural ability to embrace change, reinvent systems, and pioneer groundbreaking ideas. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Uranus aspect. Embracing change and self-reinvention. Pluto trine Uranus grants a natural ability to transform and evolve, letting go of the old to make way for strategic and effective personal growth. Innovators and visionaries. Individuals with this aspect are drawn to unconventional ideas, groundbreaking technology, and future-focused thinking, often leading in scientific or cultural advancements. Harmonious power and radicality. Unlike challenging aspects, this trine blends intensity and rebellion smoothly, enabling revolutionary changes that are impactful yet well executed. Strategic implementation of radical ideas. They not only envision bold transformations, but also bring them to fruition through careful planning and practical execution. Insight into systemic and social evolution. This aspect fosters deep awareness of institutional structures and societal trends, motivating contributions to meaningful social progress and reform. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Uranus in astrology? When Pluto is square Uranus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Uranus are positioned 90 degrees apart, forming a highly volatile, disruptive, and transformative aspect. This square creates a clash between deep transformation Pluto and sudden rebellion Uranus, leading to intense upheavals, power struggles, and a strong drive to dismantle existing structures and create something radically different. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Uranus aspect. A life of sudden, forced transformations. Pluto's depth combined with Uranus's unpredictability creates abrupt upheavals and breakthroughs, forcing continual reinvention and adaptation to intense life shifts. Extreme tension between control and rebellion. Here is an ongoing inner conflict between the desire for stability and the urge to break free, often leading to power struggles both internally and externally. A strong drive to challenge the status quo. They instinctively resist outdated systems, question authority, and push for reform, often becoming catalysts for radical social or personal change. Radical beliefs and uncompromising attitudes. This aspect fuels extreme dedication to personal ideologies, rejecting convention and embracing new, sometimes provocative ways of thinking and acting. Struggles with authority and power structures. They frequently clash with institutions or figures of control while simultaneously seeking influence, creating a paradox of resistance and power ambition. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Uranus in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Uranus in astrology, it means that Pluto and Uranus are positioned 60 degrees apart, forming a harmonious yet dynamic connection between deep transformation Pluto and revolutionary innovation Uranus. This aspect allows individuals to blend Pluto's intense power and regenerative abilities with Uranus's need for freedom, breakthroughs, and unconventional thinking, making them natural reformers, visionaries, and catalysts for progressive change. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Uranus aspect. Ability to integrate radical change with stability. This aspect blends Pluto's transformative power with Uranus's innovation, enabling individuals to introduce revolutionary changes in a structured, sustainable way. Transformation of systems and structures. They excel at modernizing outdated frameworks, combining deep insight with progressive thinking to create impactful and lasting reforms. Pioneering spirit with strategic execution. Their innovative vision is paired with discipline and planning, allowing them to implement groundbreaking ideas effectively rather than impulsively. Balance between power and freedom. They navigate authority and independence with skill, using power wisely while avoiding unnecessary rebellion or control struggles. Influence in future-oriented fields. Drawn to technology, science, and forward-thinking industries, they often become key figures in shaping transformative advancements. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Neptune in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Neptune in astrology, it means that Pluto and Neptune are positioned at the same degree in the zodiac, blending their energies in a deeply transformative and spiritual way. This is a generational aspect, meaning it influences entire groups of people born within a particular time frame, rather than just individuals. Pluto represents power, destruction, rebirth, and deep transformation, while Neptune governs dreams, illusions, spirituality, mysticism, and the subconscious mind. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Neptune aspect. Deep connection to spirituality and mysticism. Pluto amplifies Neptune's spiritual energy, creating a profound pull toward esoteric knowledge, hidden truths, and mystical exploration. Unusual imagination and creative vision. This conjunction enhances imaginative power, allowing individuals to express visionary ideas through art, culture, or spiritual teachings that influence collective thought. Seeing through illusions and deceptions. Pluto's truth-seeking merges with Neptune's dream world, giving the ability to uncover societal lies, manipulations, and hidden agendas, transcending material limitations. There is a strong drive to look beyond the physical world, embracing spiritual practices, inner wisdom, and non-materialistic values. Collective and societal transformation. This generational aspect often coincides with ideological, cultural, or spiritual shifts, reshaping collective beliefs and global paradigms. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Neptune in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Neptune in astrology, it means that Pluto and Neptune are positioned 180 degrees apart, creating an intense tension between deep transformation Pluto and spiritual illusion Neptune. This aspect represents a struggle between power and mysticism, destruction and faith, hidden control and mass deception, leading to collective and personal crises related to truth, belief systems, and unseen forces. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Neptune aspect. Struggle between power and spirituality. Pluto's urge for control clashes with Neptune's need for surrender and faith, creating constant tension between material power and spiritual ideals. Extreme ideological shifts. Life is marked by dramatic changes in beliefs and philosophies, swinging between rationalism and mysticism while seeking balance between transformation and transcendence. Mass manipulation and deception. On a collective level, this aspect reflects hidden power struggles, propaganda, and institutional deception, often leading to the collapse of false ideologies. Challenges in discerning truth from illusion. Neptune's fog collides with Pluto's probing nature, causing confusion about reality and demanding constant questioning of beliefs and information sources. Drive to expose hidden manipulation. There is a strong impulse to uncover corruption within spiritual, governmental, or societal structures, often leading individuals to challenge deceptive systems and authority. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Neptune in astrology? When Pluto is trine Neptune in astrology, it means that Pluto and Neptune are positioned 120 degrees apart, forming a harmonious and powerful connection between deep transformation Pluto and spiritual transcendence Neptune. This aspect allows for profound spiritual insights, effortless transformation, and the ability to merge power with higher consciousness in a balanced way. Pluto represents power, destruction, rebirth, and deep transformation, while Neptune rules dreams, illusions, spirituality, intuition, and the subconscious mind. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Neptune aspect. Harmony between power and spirituality. Pluto trine Neptune creates a natural balance between personal power and spiritual awareness, allowing individuals to act with depth, integrity, and higher vision. Deep connection to spiritual and mystical knowledge. There is a strong pull toward esoteric studies, meditation, and spiritual exploration, leading to profound insight into universal truths and hidden realities. Intuitive understanding of life's hidden truths. The fusion of Pluto's depth and Neptune's intuition gives a powerful sense of inner knowing, revealing motivations, patterns, and wisdom that lie beneath the surface. Ability to manifest dreams into reality. Neptune's vision combined with Pluto's willpower enables individuals to transform spiritual or creative ideas into tangible results with lasting impact. Talent for healing and transformation. This aspect supports emotional, psychological, and spiritual healing abilities, inspiring others through guidance, compassion, or transformative creative expression. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Neptune in astrology? When Pluto is square Neptune in astrology, it means that Pluto and Neptune are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a tense and conflicting dynamic between deep transformation Pluto and spiritual transcendence Neptune. This aspect can lead to internal and external struggles related to power, illusion, truth, deception, and the dissolution of reality as one perceives it. Pluto represents power, destruction, rebirth, and control, while Neptune governs dreams, illusions, spirituality, and the subconscious mind. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Neptune aspect. Struggle between reality and illusion. Pluto square Neptune creates ongoing tension between harsh realism and idealistic fantasies, making it difficult to maintain clarity and balanced perception. Intense spiritual and psychological transformations. This aspect drives deep inner change through spiritual awakenings, existential crises, and psychological introspection, often alternating between insight and confusion. Susceptibility to manipulation and deception. The blend of Pluto's power and Neptune's illusions can make individuals vulnerable to deceptive ideologies, false authorities, or misleading spiritual influences, demanding discernment. Struggles with escapism and disillusionment. There is a tendency to retreat into addictive or escapist behaviors when reality becomes overwhelming, followed by cycles of belief, doubt, and the need to reconstruct personal ideals. Death in symbolism and creative expression. Pluto intensifies Neptune's imagination, giving individuals the ability to channel complex psychological and spiritual themes through art, film, music, or other symbolic forms. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Neptune in astrology? When Pluto is square Neptune in astrology, it means that Pluto and Neptune are positioned 90 degrees apart, creating a tense and conflicting dynamic between deep transformation Pluto and spiritual transcendence Neptune. This aspect can lead to internal and external struggles related to power, illusion, truth, deception, and the dissolution of reality as one perceives it. Pluto represents power, destruction, rebirth, and control, while Neptune governs dreams, illusions, spirituality, and the subconscious mind. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Neptune aspect. Spiritual transformation. Pluto sextile Neptune enables effortless blending of deep personal transformation with spiritual growth, fostering continual renewal in beliefs, practices, and inner development. Access to the subconscious and higher realms. This aspect enhances intuition, dream interpretation, and meditation, allowing individuals to gain profound insights from the subconscious and spiritual planes. Manifestation of dreams into reality. Pluto's focus combined with Neptune's vision empowers individuals to turn imaginative, creative, or spiritual ideas into tangible outcomes. Interest in mysticism and hidden truths. There is a fascination with psychology, occult wisdom, past lives, and societal or spiritual truths, driving exploration of unseen forces and transformative knowledge. Creative and artistic expression. This placement intensifies artistic imagination, leading to deeply moving, symbolic, and transformative work in music, art, literature, or other creative fields. What does it mean when Pluto is in conjunction with the Pluto in astrology? When Pluto is conjunct Pluto in astrology, it means that an individual is experiencing their Pluto return, a rare and significant astrological event that happens approximately every 248 years. Since Pluto moves very slowly through the zodiac, this conjunction is primarily relevant to generations or historical cycles rather than individuals. However, when it does occur in a natal or transit chart, it signals a period of massive transformation, destruction of outdated structures, and deep psychological rebirth. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto conjunct Pluto aspect. Rare and life-altering event. Pluto conjunct Pluto marks a once-in-a-lifetime period of rebirth, reinvention, and karmic reckoning, often influencing generational or historical cycles. Deep transformation and the death of the old self. This conjunction triggers shedding of outdated identities, belief systems, and power structures, allowing emergence into a renewed phase of life. Collapse of existing power structures. It coincides with the breakdown of corrupt systems, authoritarian control, or obsolete ideologies, both personally and collectively. Intense psychological shifts and self-regeneration. The aspect encourages introspection, shadow work, and healing of deep psychological wounds, fostering profound self-awareness and empowerment. Deepening of spirituality and karma reckoning. Individuals often turn to mysticism or spiritual practices, confronting karmic debts and past actions while embracing radical transformation and universal truths. What does it mean when Pluto is in opposition with the Pluto in astrology? When Pluto is opposite Pluto in astrology, it means that Pluto is positioned 180 degrees apart from its natal position, creating a direct and intense confrontation with its own themes of power, destruction, rebirth, and deep transformation. However, because Pluto has an extremely slow orbit of 248 years, no individual will ever experience Pluto opposition Pluto in their lifetime. Instead, this aspect is most relevant to historical cycles, generational transformations, and long-term collective shifts. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto opposition Pluto aspect. Extreme power struggles and control shifts. Pluto opposition Pluto signifies clashes between old and emerging power structures, leading to major upheavals in political, corporate, and social hierarchies. Collapse of old societal paradigms. This aspect dismantles outdated systems, beliefs, and institutions, often triggering revolutions, economic realignments, or the fall of entrenched authorities. Generational ideological conflicts. Conflicts between older and younger generations arise, creating civil unrest, cultural shifts, and challenges to established norms and values. Deep psychological and collective reckonings. Hidden truths, suppressed traumas, and unresolved collective karma emerge, prompting societal and psychological healing on a mass scale. Surges in social revolutions and revelations. Widespread rebellions, activism, and exposure of hidden secrets occur, driving transformative movements that challenge the status quo and demand accountability. What does it mean when Pluto is in trine with the Pluto in astrology? When Pluto is trine Pluto in astrology, it means that Pluto is positioned 120 degrees apart from its natal position, forming a harmonious and powerful connection between deep transformation, renewal, and regeneration. Since Pluto has an extremely slow orbit of approximately 248 years, this aspect is experienced only by entire generations rather than individuals, making it a major collective evolutionary influence rather than a personal transit. Pluto represents power, control, destruction, rebirth, and subconscious transformation. When Pluto forms a trine with itself, it creates opportunities for smooth, natural transformation and profound psychological, social, and spiritual evolution. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto trine Pluto aspect. Smooth and organic transformation. Pluto trine Pluto facilitates gradual personal and collective growth, allowing profound change without unnecessary struggle or upheaval. Alignment with evolutionary cycles. This aspect supports natural navigation through life's major transitions, generational shifts, and cycles of death, rebirth, and renewal. Responsible use of power. It fosters a balanced approach to personal and collective power, enabling strength and influence to be exercised wisely without manipulation or abuse. Access to the subconscious mind. Individuals and societies can transform deep-seated fears, traumas, and hidden patterns, promoting psychological healing and spiritual evolution. Generational shift toward higher awareness. This trine encourages collective enlightenment, spiritual awakening, and the dismantling of limiting beliefs, guiding society toward greater awareness and justice. What does it mean when Pluto is squared with the Pluto in astrology? When Pluto is square Pluto in astrology, it means that Pluto is positioned 90 degrees apart from its natal position, creating a highly intense and transformative period of conflict, upheaval, and deep internal or external struggles. This aspect signifies a clash between old and new cycles of power, control, destruction, and rebirth. Since Pluto takes about 248 years to complete an orbit, this is not an aspect experienced by individuals, but rather by generational and historical shifts that reshape society, governments, economies, and global consciousness. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto square Pluto aspect. Extreme struggles and control issues. Pluto square Pluto triggers intense battles for dominance, often seen in political upheavals, revolutions, and confrontations with authority. Global and generational reckoning. This aspect marks historical turning points, forcing societies to face unresolved karmic issues like corruption, inequality, or environmental crises. Collapse of outdated systems. Failing institutions, ineffective governments, and obsolete structures are dismantled, paving the way for new reforms and societal transformation. Mass rebellions and social upheavals. Large-scale uprisings, civil movements, and revolutions emerge as people challenge oppressive systems and demand change. Intense economic and technological shifts. Financial crises, market collapses, and technological revolutions occur, reshaping economies, industries, and global innovation. What does it mean when Pluto is in sextile with the Pluto in astrology? When Pluto is sextile Pluto in astrology, it means that Pluto is positioned 60 degrees apart from its natal position, creating a harmonious yet deeply transformative energy that allows for gradual, strategic, and controlled evolution on a personal and collective level. Unlike the Pluto square or opposition, which bring crisis and upheaval, the sextile facilitates smooth and steady transformation by opening doors for empowerment, renewal, and conscious growth. Here are key characteristics and themes associated with the Pluto sextile Pluto aspect. Steady and strategic transformation. Pluto sextile Pluto supports gradual, well-planned changes that allow for controlled personal and collective evolution without abrupt upheavals, building long-lasting systems. This aspect favors stability, enabling reforms in political, social, and economic structures that are designed to endure over generations. Sustainable economic and political growth. It encourages gradual financial shifts, strategic wealth management, and diplomatic political transitions, avoiding crises or collapses. Regenerative healing and innovation. Pluto sextile Pluto promotes breakthroughs in healthcare, holistic medicine, and longevity research, emphasizing renewal and transformative well-being. Learning from the past. This aspect allows integration of past lessons into future strategies, fostering ethical leadership, responsible decision-making, and moral integrity. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Aries in astrology? When Pluto transits into Aries in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Aries, the fiery and pioneering first sign of the zodiac. Pluto transits last for many years, typically 12 to 30 years per sign, meaning this marks a generational shift that brings radical transformations in leadership, individuality, and pioneering spirit on a collective scale. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Aries. A new era of initiative and self-empowerment. Pluto in Aries fuels bold action, independence, and self-reliance, encouraging individuals and societies to assert themselves and break free from outdated controls. Radical shifts in leadership and authority. This transit transforms leadership, promoting pioneering figures who challenge traditional power structures and redefining authority on both personal and collective levels. Extreme courage and pioneering breakthroughs. Pluto in Aries sparks revolutionary advances in technology, science, and personal identity, driving trailblazing efforts that reshape global and individual landscapes. Destroying the old to make way for the new. Outdated ideologies, institutions, and societal norms are dismantled, making space for innovative ideas, aggressive progress, and transformative growth. Revolutions and social uprisings. This transit intensifies collective power struggles, rebellion, and political upheavals, marking periods of rapid change, independence movements, and radical societal shifts. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Taurus in astrology? When Pluto transits into Taurus in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Taurus, which governs stability, material wealth, values, security, and the physical world. Pluto's transit through Taurus bringing profound changes in global economies, financial systems, personal values, and humanity's relationship with nature and resources. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Taurus. Shift in personal and collective values. Pluto in Taurus prompts a re-evaluation of what is truly valuable, encouraging ethical financial practices, sustainability, and personal fulfillment over excessive materialism. Breakdown and rebirth of property ownership. Land, real estate, and resource ownership undergo deep transformation, including reforms, crises, and changes in distribution laws. Power struggles over natural resources. This transit intensifies conflicts over land, water, agriculture, and energy, highlighting global competition and environmental concerns. Revolution in agriculture and food production. Farming and food systems experience major shifts, with new technologies, sustainable practices, and potential collapse of traditional methods. Economic inequality and financial reforms. Pluto exposes wealth gaps, corruption, and exploitation, leading to possible systemic reforms and transformative shifts in economic structures. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Gemini in astrology? When Pluto transits into Gemini in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Gemini, which rules communication, information, learning, technology, commerce, and human connection. When Pluto enters Gemini, it intensifies mental evolution, revolutionizes communication technologies, reshapes education, and transforms global media and information flow. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Gemini. Revolution in communication and media. Pluto in Gemini transforms how people share information, reshaping social media, digital platforms, and global communication networks. Destruction and rebirth of education systems. Traditional educational models decline while AI-driven digital and unconventional learning methods emerge, making knowledge more accessible yet fragmented. Technological advancements in AI and digital interaction. This transit accelerates developments in AI, virtual reality, neural interfaces, and quantum computing, revolutionizing human interaction and information processing. Power struggles over control of information. Conflicts over free speech, censorship, propaganda, and misinformation emerge, exposing media manipulation and transforming journalism. The rise and fall of global networks and social connections. Existing social structures and networks are challenged, giving way to decentralized digital communities and new forms of relationships and alliances. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Cancer in astrology? When Pluto transits into Cancer in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Cancer, which governs home, family, emotions, national identity, security, and traditions. When Pluto enters Cancer, it brings intense upheavals and rebirth in the way societies define family, national identity, emotional security, and domestic stability. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Cancer. Restructuring of family and home life. Pluto's transit through Cancer transforms domestic life, reshaping family roles, parenting approaches, and emotional support systems, often dissolving old structures and creating new dynamics. National identity and political power shifts. This period can intensify nationalism, cultural redefinitions, and political power struggles, with societies reevaluating what it means to belong and potentially redrawing borders. Emotional intensity and collective healing. Pluto in Cancer encourages confronting personal and ancestral emotional wounds, fostering generational healing, emotional purging, and resolution of long-standing family conflicts. Transformation of housing and urban structures. The transit restructures real estate, housing markets, and domestic security, potentially causing migrations, housing crises, or innovations in communal living and urban planning. Redefinition of traditional family and gender roles. Pluto challenges outdated family values, motherhood, and caregiving roles, prompting societies to reconsider gender dynamics, reproductive rights, and progressive relationship structures. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Leo in astrology? When Pluto transits into Leo in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Leo, which governs creativity, self-expression, leadership, personal identity, fame, and entertainment. Since Pluto's transit through a sign lasts 12 to 30 years, this marks a generational shift that deeply transforms leadership dynamics, artistic and cultural expressions, personal ambition, and the concept of individuality and fame. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Leo. Transformation in leadership and authority. Pluto in Leo reshapes leadership and power dynamics, prompting the rise and fall of charismatic figures and intense struggles for control. Redefinition of self-expression and personal identity. This transit forces individuals to confront their sense of self-worth, authenticity, and creative voice, driving deep personal transformations. Revolutions in art, entertainment, and media. Pluto sparks innovation in cultural and artistic expressions, leading to the emergence of new icons while outdated styles fade. Shift in celebrity culture and public admiration. Society's perception of fame and recognition is restructured, replacing traditional stars with new forms of influential figures. Power struggles over individuality and personal recognition. Conflicts between personal ambition and collective responsibility intensify, highlighting ego clashes and dramatic battles for acknowledgement. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Virgo in astrology? When Pluto transits into Virgo in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Virgo, which governs work, health, routines, service, technology, precision, and analytical thinking. Since Pluto's transit through a sign lasts 12 to 30 years, this marks a generational shift that deeply transforms labor industries, healthcare systems, environmental awareness, technological advancements, and the way societies approach discipline and efficiency. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Virgo. A revolution in work, job markets, and industry standards. This transit reshapes labor structures through automation, AI integration, and remote work, replacing traditional job formats with specialized, flexible, and technology-driven systems. A deep transformation of healthcare and medical science. This period brings breakthroughs in medicine, genetic engineering, and personalized treatments, leading to cures for chronic diseases, biohacking trends, and advanced health technologies. A transformation in how society views work and productivity. This transit challenges toxic work cultures and overexertion, establishing new models of balanced productivity, efficient systems, and redefined cultural attitudes toward labor. Environmental crisis and technological solutions. This phase intensifies ecological concerns, driving innovation in sustainability tech, stricter environmental policies, and climate action movements that push systemic change. A shift in how people approach nutrition and fitness. This transit revolutionizes nutrition, health habits, and agriculture through genetic personalization, lab-grown foods, and precision farming, reshaping how societies sustain themselves. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Libra in astrology? When Pluto transits into Libra in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Libra, which governs relationships, balance, justice, diplomacy, aesthetics, social structures, and harmony. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Libra. A transformation in relationships and marriage dynamics. Pluto in Libra reshapes partnership models, breaks down outdated marital structures, and redefines expectations of intimacy and commitment. A major shift in social justice and equality movements. Pluto intensifies legal reforms and civil rights struggles, dismantling unjust systems and laying the foundation for progressive laws and fairer social structures. A restructuring of diplomacy and international relations. This transit forces nations to renegotiate alliances and confront ethical tensions in global politics, leading to either strategic cooperation or deep diplomatic crises. A deep psychological exploration of relationships. Individuals face hidden fears and subconscious patterns in love and trust, catalyzing profound emotional transformation and more authentic bonds. The destruction and rebirth of artistic and aesthetic movements. Pluto in Libra dismantles stagnant artistic trends and sparks a creative renaissance in fashion, media, and architecture, shaping new cultural aesthetics. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Scorpio in astrology? When Pluto transits into Scorpio in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, destruction, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Scorpio, which governs intensity, secrecy, death and rebirth, deep psychology, transformation, sexuality, and hidden power structures. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Scorpio. A period of extreme transformation and intensity. Pluto in Scorpio triggers deep psychological and emotional evolution, forcing individuals and societies to confront fears, shed illusions, and undergo intense rebirth processes. Massive shifts in power structures and governments. This transit brings the collapse of corrupt systems, power struggles, and political upheavals, leading to a major reconfiguration of authority and control on a global scale. The exposure of secrets and the destruction of deception. Hidden truths, scandals, and systemic corruption surface, as Pluto in Scorpio compels society to face its shadow through investigations, revelations, and truth-telling. Revolutions in psychology, therapy, and inner healing. Profound advances occur in trauma work, shadow integration, and understanding the subconscious, transforming approaches to mental health and human behavior. A redefinition of sexuality, intimacy, and wealth systems. This period revolutionizes sexuality and relationship dynamics while simultaneously reshaping financial structures, challenging outdated norms in both personal and collective domains. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Sagittarius in astrology? When Pluto transits into Sagittarius in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, which governs philosophy, higher education, travel, expansion, truth-seeking, exploration, spirituality, and global consciousness. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Sagittarius. A revolution in higher education and knowledge systems. Pluto in Sagittarius restructures learning by dismantling outdated academic models, advancing digital education, and transforming how knowledge is shared and validated. An intense search for truth and deeper understanding. This transit compels societies to challenge entrenched ideologies, expose historical distortions, and move beyond dogma toward more profound philosophical clarity. Radical changes in religion and spiritual beliefs. Pluto dismantles obsolete religious structures, uncovers institutional corruption, and ignites widespread spiritual reawakening and the emergence of new belief systems. A shift in global consciousness and cultural exchange. This period expands international awareness, promoting cross-cultural dialogue, merging spiritual philosophies, and reshaping global perspectives. Transformations in media, information, and exploration. Traditional media collapses under scrutiny as digital platforms rise, information control becomes a battleground, and breakthroughs in space exploration push collective understanding beyond Earth. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Capricorn in astrology? When Pluto transits into Capricorn in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Capricorn, which governs authority, government, career, structure, ambition, discipline, and long-term stability. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Capricorn. The destruction and restructuring of governments and political systems. Pluto in Capricorn exposes corruption, triggers political collapses and revolutions, and compels nations to rebuild governance on integrity, accountability, and new power dynamics. Massive changes in corporate power and business models. Outdated industries and corporate giants fall, while new, sustainable, and ethically driven business structures emerge, reshaping how power and success operate in the economic sphere. Financial reforms and economic collapses followed by restructuring. Weak financial systems are dismantled, leading to crises and subsequent reforms that rebuild banking, investment, and economic structures for greater stability and equity. A shift in how society defines success and status. Traditional career hierarchies and status symbols are re-examined, giving rise to innovative, self-reliant, and meaningful models of achievement that challenge old ambitions. A transformation in leadership, infrastructure, and work ethics. Ineffective leaders and outdated systems are removed, encouraging merit-based authority, sustainable development, and ethical, disciplined work environments built for long-term stability. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Aquarius in astrology? When Pluto transits into Aquarius in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Aquarius, which governs innovation, technology, rebellion, social change, humanitarianism, and collective consciousness. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Aquarius. A technological revolution and the rise of artificial intelligence. Pluto in Aquarius drives rapid breakthroughs in AI, robotics, and automation, transforming industries, communication systems, and daily life. Societies must adapt to new work models, education structures, and AI-driven economies. The fall of centralized power and the birth of digital governance. Old political and corporate hierarchies weaken as decentralized systems, blockchain networks, and digital democracies emerge. Power shifts from centralized authorities to autonomous, community-based structures. Massive shifts in social structures and human rights movements. Pluto amplifies Aquarius's humanitarian themes, sparking major movements for equality, civil rights, gender justice, and collective empowerment. These shifts redefine societal values and systems of inclusion, a redefinition of identity and collective consciousness. Traditional categories like nationality, gender, and culture undergo deep transformation. Pluto in Aquarius encourages fluid identities and reconfigures how individuals see their place within global society. Revolutions in space exploration and extraterrestrial discovery. Pluto energizes Aquarius's futuristic vision, accelerating space travel, off-world colonization, and the search for extraterrestrial life. Collaborative global efforts may lead to unprecedented discoveries beyond Earth. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the Pisces in astrology? When Pluto transits into Pisces in astrology, it means that Pluto, the planet of transformation, destruction, power, and rebirth, is moving through the zodiac sign of Pisces, which governs spirituality, imagination, dreams, subconscious patterns, artistic expression, emotional healing, and the dissolution of boundaries. Here are some general characteristics and effects of the Pluto transiting through Pisces. The collapse of illusion-based financial systems. Pluto may dismantle deceptive or unstable economic structures, leading to ethical reforms, alternative currencies, and systems focused on collective well-being. A challenge to the boundaries between technology and human soul. This transit provokes debates on consciousness, spirituality, and AI, forcing humanity to reconsider the limits between machine intelligence and the essence of the soul. A global spiritual awakening and revaluation of religion. Pluto's power disrupts rigid religious frameworks, sparking collective awakenings, reforms, and the rise of personal, mystical, and science-infused spiritual paths. A breakdown of illusions and the exposure of deception. Hidden manipulations by media, governments, and institutions are exposed. Illusions dissolve as scandals and revelations reshape collective trust and perception. A legacy of healing, transcendence, and spiritual evolution. Pluto in Pisces ultimately leaves behind emotional renewal, creative breakthroughs, and a deeper collective connection to universal truths and spiritual growth. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the first house in astrology? In astrology, When Pluto transits the first house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a profound period of personal transformation, self-reinvention, and empowerment. The first house is associated with self-identity, physical appearance, personality, and how you present yourself to the world. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the first house. A complete personal reinvention. Pluto's transit through the first house initiates a deep transformation of self. Your identity, appearance, goals, and life direction may undergo radical change, often triggered by intense inner or outer events. Intense self-exploration and psychological depth. This period compels you to confront fears, insecurities, and buried emotions. Through shadow work and deep introspection, you gain profound self-awareness and personal growth. Increased inner strength and resilience. Challenges serve as catalysts for empowerment. You develop unshakable inner power, emerging more self-assured and capable of handling life's pressures with greater confidence. Magnetic presence and stronger personal influence. Your aura becomes more intense and authoritative. Others perceive you as compelling, mysterious, or powerful, which heightens your impact in both personal and professional spheres. The revealing and purging of old patterns. Pluto strips away outdated identities, toxic habits, and limiting beliefs. Situations arise that force you to release what no longer aligns with your authentic self. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the second house in astrology? When Pluto transits the second house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a deep and transformative shift in the areas of finances, personal values, self-worth, and material security. The second house is associated with money, possessions, financial stability, self-esteem, and personal resources, and Pluto's presence here can bring intense financial fluctuations, a reevaluation of self-worth, and a total transformation in one's relationship with material security. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the second house. A transformation in financial situation. Pluto brings deep shifts in income, assets, and financial strategies. Sudden gains or losses force a restructuring of your financial base, pushing you to develop lasting strength and resilience. A deep revaluation of self-worth. Beyond money, Pluto exposes insecurities and outdated beliefs around personal value. This transit challenges you to rebuild confidence from the inside out, leading to profound self-empowerment. A shift in material priorities. Your relationship with possessions and wealth undergoes change. You may detach from material excess, focusing instead on what truly holds meaning and lasting value in your life. Potential financial crisis and rebirth. Pluto often breaks down fragile economic foundations through disruptions like losses, debt issues, or job changes. These crises serve as catalysts for financial maturity and smarter strategies. The discovery of hidden financial opportunities. Alongside breakdowns, Pluto reveals untapped income sources, talents, or investment paths. Strategic vision and resourcefulness can lead to long-term financial empowerment. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the third house in astrology? When Pluto transits the third house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a profound transformation in communication, thinking patterns, learning, and interactions with one's immediate environment. The third house is associated with the mind, communication, learning style, siblings, neighbors, short-distance travel, and perception of reality. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the third house. Complete transformation in thinking and perception. Pluto compels a deep overhaul of thought patterns, beliefs, and how reality is mentally processed. Old ways of perceiving are stripped away, leading to profound mental shifts. Intense communication and reconstruction of expression. Your communication gains psychological depth and power. Through conflicts or power struggles, you learn to express yourself with greater precision, control, and influence. Deeper interest in hidden knowledge and investigative learning. A strong pull toward uncovering truths emerges. You may dive into psychology, occult studies, analysis, or other areas demanding intellectual intensity and depth. Shift in sibling and close relative dynamics. Pluto can bring transformative or intense experiences with siblings and relatives. Hidden matters may surface, altering these bonds significantly. Psychological breakthroughs in mental healing. Subconscious thought patterns are exposed, leading to deep self-reflection and therapeutic transformation. This period supports profound mental healing and empowerment. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 4th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 4th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies profound and deeply personal transformations related to home, family, emotional foundations, and inner security. The 4th house is associated with family, ancestry, childhood conditioning, roots, home life, and one's psychological foundation. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 4th house. A deep transformation in family relationships. Pluto's transit exposes power struggles, ancestral issues, and hidden family dynamics. Relationships with parents or family members may undergo intense shifts, leading to either deep healing or irreversible changes. A need to confront childhood wounds and family patterns. This period forces a deep psychological excavation of past emotional wounds, inherited traumas, and subconscious conditioning. It's a transformative phase of emotional healing and breaking generational cycles. A major shift in home or living situation. Relocations, renovations, or significant household changes often occur. These shifts may arise from family separations, inheritances, or unexpected events that alter one's domestic landscape. The revelation of family secrets and hidden truths. Long-buried emotions, ancestral secrets, or suppressed truths may surface, fundamentally reshaping your understanding of family history and emotional roots. A destruction and rebirth of emotional security. Pluto destabilizes old foundations, compelling the creation of a stronger, self-reliant inner base. Emotional security is rebuilt on deeper authenticity and resilience. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 5th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 5th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a profound transformation in self-expression, creativity, romance, pleasure, and personal passions. The 5th house is associated with creativity, personal joy, romance, children, self-confidence, and how we seek enjoyment in life. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 5th house. Intense creative transformation. Pluto intensifies self-expression, compelling you to shed superficial layers and channel raw power into authentic, impactful creativity. This period often births profound artistic breakthroughs or complete reinventions of personal style. Obsessive drive for passion projects. A compulsive focus emerges around creative pursuits or talents. You may devote immense energy to perfecting a skill or project, seeking to leave a lasting mark through your work. Transformations in romance and pleasure. Romantic dynamics become intense, magnetic, and sometimes all-consuming. Superficial attractions dissolve, replaced by deeper, more transformative connections that challenge emotional honesty. Profound shifts in parenting and children. Relationships with children or the experience of parenthood undergo deep change, either through becoming a parent, evolving parenting styles, or confronting hidden family dynamics that demand healing. Heightened risk and intensity in recreation. There's a strong pull toward extreme experiences and risk-taking in pursuit of pleasure. This can bring empowerment through bold adventures, but also requires conscious handling of compulsive tendencies. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 6th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 6th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies deep and lasting transformations in daily routines, health, work life, and personal discipline. The 6th house is associated with work ethic, service, health, daily habits, self-improvement, and responsibilities. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 6th house. Intense transformation of daily routines. Pluto pushes you to eliminate unhealthy habits and rebuild your daily life with greater purpose, discipline, and efficiency. Old routines that no longer support growth are often completely restructured. Obsessive focus on work and productivity. A powerful drive may emerge around work, self-improvement, or mastering skills. You may become deeply committed to perfecting your craft or gaining greater control over your responsibilities. Profound changes in health and well-being. This transit often brings heightened awareness of physical and mental health. It can lead to major lifestyle changes, healing journeys, or confronting hidden stress patterns affecting the body. Power dynamics in the workplace. Relationships with coworkers, employers, or employees may become intense or transformative. Issues involving control, authority, or manipulation can surface, demanding stronger boundaries and personal empowerment. Purging toxic patterns and self-destruction. Pluto exposes compulsive behaviors, burnout tendencies, or unhealthy perfectionism. This transit encourages deep inner cleansing and the development of healthier ways to manage daily life and obligations. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 7th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 7th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a deep transformation in relationships, partnerships, and interpersonal dynamics. The 7th house rules marriage, business partnerships, long-term relationships, legal agreements, open enemies, and how we relate to others on a one-on-one level. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 7th house. A complete transformation of relationships and partnerships. Pluto's transit through the 7th house brings profound shifts in romantic, business, and personal bonds, ending superficial connections while deepening strong ones. Intense, faded, and transformative relationships. Powerful karmic connections arise, challenging emotional boundaries and teaching lessons about trust, vulnerability, and psychological depth. Power struggles and control dynamics. Dominance, manipulation, jealousy, or possessiveness surface, requiring confrontation of imbalance and redefinition of boundaries within partnerships. Breakdown and rebirth of unhealthy patterns. Hidden issues, codependency, or toxic cycles are exposed. urging release of the past and rebuilding relationships on authenticity and mutual respect. A shift in partnering values and emotional honesty. Pluto reshapes partner selection, emphasizing deep bonds and emotional transparency while eliminating avoidance, secrecy, or manipulation. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 8th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 8th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies one of the most intense and deeply transformative periods of life. The 8th house is associated with death, rebirth, transformation, shared resources, psychological depth, sexuality, karmic cycles, the occult, inheritances, power dynamics, and profound emotional experiences. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 8th house: a deeper connection to spirituality and life purpose. Pluto in the 8th house awakens profound spiritual awareness, often drawing individuals toward metaphysical studies, karmic themes, and deeper insight into their soul's evolution. A transformation in how fear and pain are processed. This transit forces a direct confrontation with deep-seated fears, leading to emotional breakthroughs, psychological healing, and greater inner strength over time. A legacy of inner power, resilience, and deep wisdom. By the end of this transit, individuals emerge fundamentally transformed, emotionally fortified, spiritually aware, and more capable of navigating life's deepest changes. A change in how trust is given and received. Core trust dynamics are redefined as Pluto exposes hidden vulnerabilities and demands authentic emotional honesty in relationships, reshaping how loyalty and intimacy are experienced. A heightened sense of intuition and psychic awareness. Pluto activates latent intuitive and psychic faculties, making individuals more attuned to hidden energies, synchronicities, and subtle spiritual signals. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 9th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 9th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a deep transformation in one's beliefs, worldview, higher education, philosophy, travel experiences, and quest for truth. The 9th house governs higher learning, spiritual exploration, long-distance travel, foreign cultures, law, publishing, and one's personal philosophy on life. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 9th house. A complete transformation in personal beliefs and philosophy. Pluto compels a deep reassessment of religious views, ideologies, and worldviews. Old dogmas may collapse, leading to a more authentic and profound personal philosophy. An obsession with higher knowledge and truth. There is an intense drive to explore deeper subjects like philosophy, metaphysics, law, or the occult. This pursuit often becomes all-consuming, reshaping one's intellectual and spiritual framework. Transformation through higher education and learning. Academic directions may undergo drastic changes, shifting fields, pursuing advanced studies, or rejecting conventional education in favor of esoteric or self-directed learning. Profound spiritual and religious awakenings. Pluto can trigger intense spiritual experiences, mystical exploration, or a departure from inherited beliefs. These awakenings often redefine how one perceives reality and higher meaning. A radical shift in perspectives on law, ethics, and global outlook. Involvement in legal, moral, or ideological issues may deepen. There's a push to question, reform, or challenge existing systems, often through travel or exposure to foreign cultures. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 10th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 10th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a profound transformation in career, reputation, public image, authority, and life direction. The 10th house is associated with professional achievements, societal status, long-term ambitions, leadership roles, and one's relationship with authority figures. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 10th house. Breaking free from limiting career structures. This transit pushes individuals to leave restrictive work environments and pursue careers that reflect their inner transformation and authentic ambitions. Facing power struggles in the workplace. Conflicts with authority figures, corporate politics, and manipulation often arise, compelling individuals to assert strength and navigate professional challenges strategically. Rebirth of reputation and public images. Intense scrutiny or public criticism can dismantle old perceptions, allowing a transformation into a more authentic, influential, and respected public persona. Rise of new leadership role. Pluto encourages stepping into positions of authority, management, or founding ventures, often establishing oneself as a powerful, influential figure in their field. Desire to leave a lasting legacy. Focus shifts to long-term impact, emphasizing meaningful contributions, enduring achievements, and creating a legacy that transcends personal success. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 11th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 11th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies a profound transformation in friendships, social circles, long-term goals, group dynamics, and involvement with collective movements. The 11th house is associated with social networks, alliances, community, future aspirations, humanitarian efforts, and collective consciousness. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 11th house. Intense drive to influence social change. Pluto in the 11th house ignites a passion for transforming society, group dynamics, and collective ideologies. Leadership in communities or organizations may emerge during this period. Purging of superficial or inauthentic friendships. This transit reveals which friendships are genuine and which are based on ego or convenience, prompting the ending of shallow connections and the formation of deeper bonds. Encounters with secret societies or exclusive social groups. Individuals may be drawn to elite, esoteric, or underground networks, requiring discernment to avoid manipulation or loss of personal autonomy. Intense emotional growth through friendships. Relationships can become psychologically deep and transformative, involving karmic connections, trust building, or experiences that catalyze personal evolution. Shift towards spiritually aligned communities and new future vision. There is a strong gravitation towards spiritual, philosophical, or humanitarian groups, coupled with a need to release outdated ideals and embrace an evolved vision for the future. What does it mean when Pluto transits to the 12th house in astrology? When Pluto transits the 12th house of an individual's natal chart, it signifies one of the most profound and psychologically transformative periods of life. The 12th house is associated with the subconscious mind, hidden fears, past life karma, spirituality, solitude, dreams, intuition, institutions such as hospitals and prisons, and self-undoing. Here are some key interpretations of Pluto transiting the 12th house. A need to surrender control and trust the flow of life. Pluto in the 12th house urges letting go of control, fostering spiritual evolution and allowing transformation to unfold naturally. Healing from past life wounds and ancestral trauma. Deep-seated generational patterns and unresolved past life issues surface, offering opportunities for profound emotional and spiritual healing. The uncovering of secrets and hidden truths. Long-buried memories, family secrets, or subconscious truths emerge, reshaping self-understanding and personal awareness. A transformation in the way one handles loss and endings. Significant losses or transitions occur, teaching acceptance of impermanence and encouraging emotional resilience and renewal. A strong desire to let go of ego and false identities. Detachment from materialism and external validation promotes authenticity, spiritual alignment, and a deeper connection with higher consciousness. What does it mean when Pluto is in the North Node in Western astrology? The North Node represents Dharma, the evolutionary arc of the soul, often requiring the courage to let go of old identities and embrace deep transformation. Pluto governs death and rebirth, empowerment, soul-level evolution, and the underworld of unconscious drives. When Pluto transits the North Node, it brings intense dharmic initiation. You are asked not just to grow, but to be reborn. Low soul-centered evolution through crisis. Dharma is forged in fire. Pluto in the North Node presents transformative challenges designed to burn away what no longer serves your spiritual purpose. Awakening the power of choice. This transit demands that you confront your own relationship with control, fear, and will. True dharmic movement now comes from embracing inner authority, not manipulation or avoidance. Aligning with a deeper truth. You may feel called to pursue truth at any cost, even when it disrupts your life. The North Node here asks, can you live with radical honesty in service of your highest path? Empowerment through shadow integration. Rather than escaping darkness, this is a time to meet it. Pluto teaches that the path of Dharma includes facing your wounds so your power can be reclaimed. Restructuring life from the roots up. Dharmic shifts may involve total life overhauls. Relationships, careers, or beliefs may end so that something more aligned with your soul can take root. What does it mean when Pluto is in the South Node in Western astrology? The South Node represents karma, the soul's past experiences, unresolved wounds, power dynamics, and buried contracts. Pluto rules the unconscious realm where old patterns of survival, dominance, and soul memory reside. When Pluto transits the South Node, it activates karmic material that demands release or transformation. This is not a gentle period, it's an excavation of what lies beneath. Reactivation of karmic power struggles. You may find yourself entangled in themes of control, betrayal, or obsession. These patterns often stem from unresolved past life dynamics seeking closure, unearthing buried shadows. Emotions long suppressed, shame, vengeance, guilt, may rise to the surface. This is not regression, but karmic cleansing through awareness. Endings that carry ancient weight. Losses or endings under this transit often feel heavy or fated. These closures are tied to karmic cycles completing, offering space for spiritual liberation. The temptation to cling to old power. Pluto in the South Node may bring a pull toward control, secrecy, or old roles where you once held influence. The lesson is to surrender the need for dominance in favor of soul integrity. Redemption through transformation. This transit offers a profound karmic opportunity not to erase the past, but to alchemize it. Pluto brings the chance to re-enter your past lives symbolically and choose differently.